Yeah.
I mean, it's just hard.
It's tough being a Leafs fan, man. I tell you
It
what.
is. It is.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys do it.
I don't either. I've always said that. And I do have a lot of, people, I know people poke fun at Leafs fans around the country. They talk about, Leafs fans, they win 2 games in a row and everybody thinks they're the greatest team in the NHL. They lose 2 in a row and people want to, drive their cars off the Gardiner. And I always tell people that people need to be a little more fair to Leafs fans. They've had the delusion beaten out of them. Seriously, there's no fan base in this country that has had the delusion.
Beat him to the spot, kind of whenever you'd like to beat him to the spot. But he's a good pitcher, and he's on a little bit of a roll. So, it's gonna take, I think, the best guys, the hottest guys, having the better at bats. It's gonna take Kevin to keep him in it, allow that lineup to have a big inning. So it'd be nice for Vladdy and Tony to show up today. That would be nice.
That's really
that would be. They need one of them games where they both have 4 or 5 RBIs.
That's
apiece.
kind of the thing missing right now, isn't it?
No question. No question.
The bullpen is.
They figured it out.
Yeah.
Blueprint on how you're going to handle guys resting and
exactly.
Yeah.
The rotation is the rotation. Their defense is tremendous. I mean, if you look at their defensive runs saved, they're among the very best in baseball. Both the analytics test and the eye test will tell you the defense is really good.
They do that now?
Yeah, some do. The thing that's missing is Santander and Guerrero. That's really boy. If you can get them going, then you've got.
They're both late. Vladdy's got a lot of moving parts. He's a trier. He chases a lot of things in off the plate.
Did he always have a lot of?
It's always looked the same. Minor leagues things.
Okay, why is he so late now compared to a couple of years ago?
I mean, they weren't hitting early. He's trying hard, signed a big deal. I mean, I know you don't like to hear that. You roll your eyes at it. It's true. He's a human being. I mean, he's the face of the franchise, the face of a country. That's life, just the way it is when it comes to baseball. It absolutely is. Signs everywhere on the Gardiner. You drive down the Gardiner, he's everywhere. He wasn't before he signed that. So it's a big deal. You want to do well. You want to do your part. That has something to do with it. And the pitching's really good at the big league level. They game plan against him. They know how to get him out. They know he'll get himself out sometimes. The ball in off the plate gives him a mess of worry. When he's going through this thing, it's that pitch. It's in off the plate. It's that ground ball up the middle. He jams himself on. It's that I got to hurry up, and, it's in and out, alligator arming it, rolling over to the third baseman of the shortstop because of that pitch where it's at. Got to get him in the zone. I said this to everybody else, get a ball right down the middle. He ain't no different than everybody else. He got more talent offensively than everybody else, but to consistently be that Vladdy that we saw 4 months of last year, got to get you. Go back and look at all the homers he hit. Now, because some of them were because he's got bad speed and hand-eye coordination and just barrel awareness that most humans don't. But for the most part, them things is center cut. Get better pitches to hit. That mechanic thing will get you in a groove. The pitch you swing at gets you in a mechanical groove. It really does. Like, it is, because if I've been through this, if you chase pitches, the first thing you think is something's wrong mechanical. It ain't. Vladdy been around long enough, done that same fruition thing since he's old enough to throw, catch with his dad. Get a better pitch to hit. So hopefully this is the day.
3:07 will be the first pitch at the Rogers Center. The roof is open. It is a gorgeous day. It is a great day for baseball. The Jays looking to win the series against the Tampa Bay Rays. A victory would move them a game over 500 to 22-21.
Don't you tease me like that, Jeff. But you don't care about record.
I don't care about record,
no.
but I'm filling time, and one of the ways I'm doing that is by saying that a win will move the Jays' record to 22-21.
Yeah.
Reminder:
you took this show off for sure today.
Serving our veterans.
Some overnight oats right before the game. My teammates look at me like, what are you doing, dude?
My mom's cooking, probably. She makes some good. She's got a tuna fish casserole. That's pretty good.
I went 5 for 5. I need to eat the same thing. Last time, Saturday, I ate arepa with eggs. And then next day, I got to eat arepa with eggs. So my mom make it for me. And then when my mom is with me,
everything's good.
I save a lot of money.
Estamos lindo.
There's so much history right here. And when I put it on and it's so light, it just feels just right. It feels just right. I mean, look at this. It got the city on it. When I was 7 years old, my uncle takes me where? To Shea Stadium. Darryl Strawberry hits a home run and I become a fan for life.
This
slams a ball to right field, way back, way gone.
Is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Low rounding and heading for second to throw. In time
on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
A rubber match at Rogers Center. The Blue Jays host the Tampa Bay Rays today in the last of this 3-game series. A series that's been very hard fought in two different ways. It was a high-scoring win for the Rays in Game 1, a low-scoring win for the Blue Jays in Game 2. And after 18 innings, these two teams tied on aggregate score right now at 12-12. We'll see who can take the series as first pitch goes in just a couple of minutes. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali is our host and producer. Tom Young and Austin Mackey are our technical directors. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Guelph and Elmira. Crown is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated since 1986, so protect your vehicle from rust today at your local Crown Rust Control Center or visit crown.com. Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. On the mound today for the Blue Jays, Kevin Gausman gets the start, coming off a win at Seattle in the Blue Jays sweep over the Mariners. He'll go up against the right-hander Zach Littell, who shut down the Blue Jays in the Trop last year in the opening series of the 2024 season. We'll see who has the edge Coming up soon, we got lineup standings, first pitch on the other side. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, streaming at sportsnet.ca, on the Sportsnet app, and on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Tonight on Sportsnet.
Now the lead pass for Hall. Moving in on Thompson.
It's do or die for the Caps. Will the Canes seal the deal in Washington? Then, hockey.
Do you see yourself maybe one day after baseball, like maybe food critic, food writer?
I would love to do that. That's the plan. I've been doing it ever since I was in the big leagues. It's just fun. It's fun to interact with people like the fans, because a lot of my followers are baseball fans. So it's nice to interact with them on a topic that's not baseball. A lot of people seem to rally around that. I mean, who doesn't love good food?
Here we go. This is a classic road jersey for Boston. This is the first uniform I put on when I came with Boston. When you see those two socks together, that's one thing I know I had to do. I had to make sure I had my red socks high, okay? My two red socks, because, you know, there's two here.
Well, this is a World Series card. Everybody said, you know, what's it going to be to pitch against Sandy Koufax, who's a dominant pitcher? I said, I hope I don't embarrass myself. And I didn't. You know, pitched my first shutout ever. We won 6-0, and my parents were there. My mom was afraid of heights, so she was in the upper deck. She had to come down and trade seats with somebody so she could actually watch her 20-year-old son pitch a shutout in the World Series.
A lot of baseball fans have some familiarity with the T206 American Tobacco card set. Of course, features the famous Hannes Wagner card. What we have here are 3 cards from the lesser-known T205 set, which really was a successor to T206. T206 came out in 1909. These 3 cards, as part of the T205 set, came out in 1911.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
This is called a Crawford dog. Hamburger bun.
Yes.
2 split top Angus beef hot dogs griddled on the skillet, on the plancha. And then we do a bacon onion jam with Crawford Bock beer.
Pick it up like a burger.
Pick it up like a burger and you just go in, man.
Let's go to town.
Live standings with Bet365. You can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and you can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. A couple AL East teams off today. The Yankees are off. They're leading the division at 25-18. The Blue Jays are second, 21-21, 3.5 back. The Red Sox are off today. They're 22-23, 4 games back. The Rays are 19-23. They are 5.5 back. And the Orioles are in progress right now. It looks like Baltimore is going to lose again. They're trailing 4-0 right now in the 9th inning, but it's baseball. Anything could happen. So for now, we'll say they're 15 and 26, 5th in the East. Blue Jays charging out onto the field as their starting lineup gets shown to the fans in Toronto. Let's go over to the other starting lineup first. Chris, who's in the lineup for Kevin Cash and the Rays?
Well, leading off for those Rays is Josh Lowe. He's DHing. Batting second is Brandon Lau. He's at second base. At third base, batting third is Junior Caminero. In the cleanup spot is Jonathan Aranda. He's at first base this afternoon. In center field, hitting fifth is Cameron Meisner. Hitting sixth is Jose Caballero. He's in right field. At shortstop, batting seventh is Taylor Walls. Batting eighth is the speedster Chandler Simpson. He's in left field this afternoon. And behind the dish, batting ninth is former Jay Danny Jansen. On the mound is Zach Littell. For the Toronto Blue Jays, leading off is Bo Bichette. He's at shortstop. Batting second is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's at first base. In right field, batting third is Anthony Santander. In the cleanup spot is George Springer. He's DHing. Batting fifth is Alejandro Kirk. He's behind the dish. Batting sixth is Addison Barger. He's at third base. At second base, hitting seventh is Ernie Clement. In center field, hitting eighth is Miles Straw. And in left field, batting ninth, is Nathan Lucas. On the mound is righty Kevin Gausman.
For Kevin Gausman, his ninth start of the season, 3-3 with a 3.97 ERA. 34-year-old from Colorado is 6'2", 205 pounds, and he's coming off a solid start, not his best of the year. 5 1/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs. He didn't walk any. He struck out 3 on the 9th at Seattle, and he allowed the Blue Jays bats to take over and win a game against the Mariners.
Right, and I think that's the biggest thing when looking at the full body of his outings this season. He's given for the majority of his starts, he's given the Blue Jays a chance to win. You said it best. I think if you can go out and have a quality start for the majority of your outings, you've done a good job, and Kevin Gausman has done just that this season.
Gausman in all-white jersey and pants, royal blue cap, steps to the top of the hill. Leadoff hitter Josh Lowe steps into the lefty box. Rays in their dark blues today, gray pants. Sun shining down on the field at Rogers Center. We got the roof open for the first time this year. Gausman bouncing, kicks and deals. First pitch hit foul off to the left, 0-1. Time of the first pitch today is 3:09 Eastern, and for the first time this season, the temperature in Toronto actually matters to the game. 19 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, and maybe just a little bit of wind blowing the banners toward right field. Gausman's 0-1. Called low, looked pretty good. A hesitation on the throwback from Kirk. 1 ball, 1 strike. That was the first splitter of the day from Kevin Gausman. Four-seamer, splitter, and slider is the mix. Righty's 1-1. Swing and a miss. Went right back to the splitter and got low to chase outside. 1-2.
Wasn't a great split finger, but good enough. Had a little bit too much horizontal movement. I like for him to get on top of that pitch so it has a little bit more vertical action, but still got low way out in front.
1-2. Fouled away. Fastball in on the hands, 95, and Lowe sent it over the netting back into the seats.
It's early, but Kevin Gausman's got some good stuff tonight. Like you said, that fastball is 95.4 miles an hour.
Gausman sets, pressing that lead left foot into the hill. 1-2. Lined left field, base hit for Josh Lowe. Welcome back to the big leagues. Just his second game of the year, coming off the injured list today. Lowe comes up with a leadoff single.
Every pitch in that at-bat was outside, whether it was the split finger, whether it was the fastball. So Josh Lowe did a good job looking outside, really just dropped the bat, got the barrel to it, and he has a leadoff hit for the Rays.
Lowe chatting with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on first. Vladdy covering his mouth with the glove as he talks to the Rays runner, who takes his lead. Here's Brandon Lau. The pitch. Swing and a fly ball right field. Going back, Santander at the track, looking up. It's gone. 2-run homer for Brandon Lau, and before an out's recorded, the Rays take a 2-0 lead.
Just a four-seam fastball, bell tie right down the middle. Brandon Lau hits that thing 106 miles an hour, almost 400 feet into that bullpen in right field. A good start for the Rays.
Brandon Lau makes a habit of crushing the Toronto Blue Jays, and he has done that here early today. Home run number 6, RBIs 21 and 22 on the season. 2-0 Tampa Bay. Nobody out, nobody on. Top of the first. Pitch to Junior Caminero. Fastball called a strike, 0-1. Adrian Johnson works the plate today, the crew chief. Quinn Walcott at first. Ramon De Jesus man second. Paul Clemens at third. Third game in a row this series where the Rays have scored first. Next pitch, sliced foul. 0-2. Game 1, Tampa Bay had a 4-run third inning that the Blue Jays came back from, but then gave up a lead late and lost. And then yesterday, the Rays scored in the 4th inning to take a 1-0 lead before the Blue Jays hit a 3-run homer in the 6th to eventually win the game 3-1. The 0-2. Low ball 1.
Of course, you always don't want to be fighting from behind. You don't want to be clawing your way back into ball games, but when the offense looks like it has, they're probably not too worried right now, down 2-0.
Blue Jays only had 3 yesterday, but before that, 5 games in a row with at least 6 runs. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him. Caminero nearly lost the helmet, whiffing at the splitter low. 1 out.
And that's the split finger with that good downward action that I like to see. That's telling me that he's getting on top of that pitch. Really good vertical drop. Junior Caminero, good hitter, swings over the top of it.
Big first out for Gausman. 2-0 for the Rays, top of the first. Jonathan Aranda to hit. Left-handed hitting first baseman with an open stance. Bat on his left shoulder, the pitch. Inside, ball 1. This first inning is brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Armstrong Bird Food, the reason birds fly north. Feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. Right-hander kicks and deals. And misses up and away, ball 2. Gausman facing the toughest out in this Rays lineup. Jonathan Aranda hitting .339 this year, .992 on base plus slugging, 6 home runs and 20 RBIs. 2-0. Swing and a miss. He's got that perfect looking stat line that you want, where it's an above 300 average, above 400 on base percentage, and above 500 slugging percentage for his triple slash. 2-1. Swing and a miss.
Well, good thing for him, he's well above each and every one of those numbers.
Yeah, 339, 430, 562. Gausman with a pair of fastballs, though, has produced a pair of swinging strikes. 2-2 count, 1 out, and the base is empty in the top of the first. Gausman sets, glove at his belt. And it's 2-2. Swing and a miss, he got him. Right back to the fastball. That one at 96. 2 outs.
Well, that was a good pitch. You could tell that Jonathan Aranda was thinking something off speed, probably thinking splitter. And Kevin Gausman just blew that 96-mile-an-hour fastball right by him. That was belt high right down the middle.
Recognized, though, that Aranda was a little bit late on his heater and attacked him with it, whether that was Gausman or Kirk's decision. It works out either way. And now with 2 outs, the third baseman, Addison Barger, creeps in. Pitch to Cameron Meisner. Fouled off the mask of Kirk, 0-1. Cameron Meisner hitting .257 this year. 3 home runs in 37 games. He's a rookie, but he did play 8 games last year with the Rays, going 1 for 15 in his first stint in the majors. 29 for 113 in his second stint. No knee bend in his stance for the tall left-handed hitter. Gausman's pitch. Swing and a one-bouncer over to short. Backhanded Bichette throws to first just in time to end the inning. The Rays strike early, though. Leadoff single Josh Lowe, 2-run homer Brandon Lau. And it's 2-0 for the Rays, middle of the first. Bichette, Guerrero, Santander to hit next against...
Man, these seats. I know, right? Thank you, Game Time. Easiest way to find only the best deals on the best seats. I wonder how the other guys are doing.
These seats are trash. What the heck, man? I spent hours finding a deal on these. Trash.
Oof. Finding seats for prices this good is tough.
They should have used Game Time. No more endless searching. Just great options at incredible prices with their Game Time picks.
What time is it?
Game Time.
XXL Pizza. I'm loving this big voice. I may just call the game this way.
Order pizza.ca.
Breaking news come at Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
This is Jose Berrios, and you're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Yo tengo el fuego.
2-0 for Tampa Bay as we go to the bottom of the first inning at Rogers Center. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Zach Littell's pitch to Bo Bichette. Called a strike, 0-1. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Brandon Lau with the top of the first homer has given Tampa Bay the lead. Littell's 0-1. Inside, backs Bichette off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Zach Littell, 29 years old, 6'4", 250 pounds from North Carolina, is 2-5 with a 4.40 ERA and 8 starts. 1-1. Low, 2 balls, 1 strike. A converted reliever, Littell throws a slider and a splitter more than anything else, but also has a 4-seamer, sinker, and sweeper. His 2-1. Swing and a ground ball over the mound, up the middle, a base hit. Bo Bichette leads it off the right way. He's got a single to start the day for the Blue Jays.
And that's what you have to do with Zach Littell. He doesn't have overpowering stuff. The 4-seam fastball sits about 92 miles an hour, but he leads with the slider, then the split finger, and then he'll mix in that 4-seam fastball. You have to use the big part of the field. You have to wait back on those off-speed pitches and try to hit it right back up the middle.
Littell from the extreme first base side of the rubber deals to Vlad Guerrero Jr. and misses high at 92. Ball 1. We only have about half an inning to work with, but so far it feels like it's a bit of a lower zone today. A couple borderline pitches at the top called balls, and the reverse at the bottom of the zone. 1-0. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Littell's overall numbers on the season as Anthony Santander slams the donut off his bat near one of our field mics. The season for Littell, the overall numbers don't look great. He's been a lot better than that recently. 2-0. Outside, 3-0. You look at his last 5 starts, he's allowed 10 total runs in those starts. Beginning of the year, his second and third starts really hurt his overall numbers. He gave up 12 earned runs in 11 innings in 2 starts. 3-0 pitch is high. That's a 4-pitch walk to Vlad Guerrero Jr., and it's a shaky start to this outing for Zach Littell, who gives up a single and a walk.
And the Blue Jays have to take advantage of this. Worst case scenario in this situation here, Anthony Santander needs to hit something to the right side and move those runners over. Obviously, you'd like something a little bit better than that, but you have to score that run from second base with nobody out in this inning.
First and second, nobody out like Chris said. 2-0 Rays, the pitch. Call to strike. Rays shift heavily to the first base side against the switch hitter Santander, who bats left. Brandon Lau is deep the second baseman, and he's also playing at least halfway to first. The 0-1. Foul tipped. Santander looking to elevate that four-seamer. Goes down 0-2.
Well, I don't normally agree with shifts in general, but I do agree with this one. Brandon Lau is playing pretty much where Anthony Santander hits a lot of ground balls in that hole on the right side.
Shortstop Walls playing up the middle behind Bichette. 0-2. Popped up. Foul territory behind home plate. Jansen scrambling over near the on-deck circle. Makes the catch. Bo Bichette tags from second and slides into a vacated third base. Really awkward play. Danny Jansen, credit to him, made the catch stepping in and on a pile of equipment on the Blue Jays on-deck circle. But the third baseman, Caminero, came over to try and help him out. Walls didn't cover third base, and wisely, Bo Bichette advances to make it runners on the corners, one down.
It's really interesting to me, and watching that play unfold, I could see it happening, and that's really dangerous, especially for a catcher, for Danny Jansen, slipping on that on-deck circle, and then there's a lot of stuff over there, a couple of weights, a couple of bats. I'm surprised that's actually allowed.
First and third, one out, pitch to George Springer. Check swing liner foul, 0-1. There's at least 3 different bat-shaped things on that, and a couple donuts, maybe a spray can or 2 for some pine tar, stick pine tar. 0-1. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. And Jansen made the catch and then kind of folded down to the ground because he had stepped on a bat and it rolled forward. Good thing is he's all right, and somehow the Blue Jays advanced 90 feet, taking advantage of it. The 1-1. Bouncing ball hit to shortstop. Bichette going to come to the plate. Flip to second, 1. Throw over to first. And that's a double play to end the inning and keep the Blue Jays off the board after the single and the walk. A pop out in foul territory and a ground ball double play makes it no runs on a hit and 1 left. 2-0 Rays after the first. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball.
A lot of baseball fans have some familiarity with the T206 American Tobacco card set. Of course, features the famous Hannes Wagner card. What we have here are 3 cards from the lesser-known T205 set, which really was a successor to T206. T206 came out in 1909. These 3 cards, as part of the T205 set, came out in 1911.
Products.
So the reason I got
for doing things in other currencies. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Jose Barrios with a trio of strikeouts to end a scoreless 6.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The second inning is presented by Bet365. At Bet365, you can bet on popular markets like hits, home runs, and total bases. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. 2-0 for the Rays over the Blue Jays on a beautiful sunny day in downtown Toronto. Second inning starts with Kevin Gausman offering to Jose Caballero, right-handed hitting right fielder for the Rays. Here's the pitch. Check swing, pitch down and away, appeal to first, and he did go, says Quinn Walcott, so it's 0-1. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali, our host and producer, Tom Young and Austin Mackey, our technical directors. 0-1. Caballero hooks it foul. No balls, 2 strikes. For Jose Caballero, the former Mariner, this is his 12th start this season in right field. He also has 12 at short and 2 at third base. He's been a utility player his whole career, but not necessarily an infielder and outfielder. Usually he's been confined to the infield. 0-2, low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To me, it's pretty impressive that he's played a significant portion in right field when in his career before this season, he had played 2 major league innings total in the outfield. One-two pitch. Line near short and down in left center, a base hit.
I don't know how Caballero got to that baseball. It was a split finger down and away, almost off the plate outside. And he kind of reached around that strike zone and actually got the barrel to that baseball, hit it on a line to left field for a base hit and a leadoff runner in this inning.
I mean, that's a case where you kind of make the pitch you want, and the hitter finds a way still to get a good swing off on it. Now Caballero, very dangerous on the base paths, is at first with Taylor Walls up, the switch hitter. Third baseman Barger playing in the pitch. Poked high in the air, shallow down the left field line, and foul out of play into the seats. Fan makes a catch on the fly with his glove. A little flex in the crowd. It's 0-1.
And if you're Kevin Gausman out there, you have to vary your looks, especially with Caballero at first base. He has 9 stolen bases this year, 44 stolen bases last year. Chances are high that he's going to try to take off during this at-bat.
0-1. Bunt shown, and a good bunt put down the third baseline, rolling on the dirt. Barger's going to see if it'll go foul, and it won't. He picks it up, and that's going to be a bunt base hit for Taylor Walls. That is textbook. Stayed on the dirt the whole way out of the circle and down the line, never once touching the turf or the foul line.
Well, a lot of people, I'm sure, watching this game will say, why didn't Addison Barger pick that ball up and throw Taylor Walls out at first base? Even if he picks that ball up, they're not getting Taylor Walls at first base. That's the only thing that you can do in that situation. Just hope that that ball takes a left turn and goes foul. And fortunately for the Jays, for Kevin Gausman, it stayed fair.
Tough start to this inning. A pitcher's pitch lined into left center field for a base hit, and then a bunt hit by Walls, and 2 are aboard with nobody out. 2-0 Rays. Gausman looks at second, now deals to Chandler Simpson, who shows bunt and pops this one up. Barger in, makes the catch, and there's a break for Gausman. There's 1 out.
That's the break that Kevin Gausman needed. He deserved that one. Made a good pitch to Jose Caballero for a base hit. The bunt base hit from Taylor Walls. And how about that? A little pop-up sack bunt from Chandler Simpson. If he gets that ball on the ground, he's tough to get out at first base, too.
They probably go to another base just because it's easier to get someone else than him. But he popped it up, and he popped it up foul. So the Blue Jays get an out there, and now with 2 on and 1 out, here's Danny Jansen.
And now you can dream about a double play here, especially with Danny Jansen at the plate.
Jansen coming off an 0-for-4 day, 3 groundouts, including 2 to the mound. The pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Jansen, who caught so many Kevin Gausman starts in a Blue Jay uniform, facing off against the Blue Jays right-hander. Catching on a 3rd straight day. He grips the handle of his bat with no batting gloves, although a hand protector on the lead left hand. Eye black for Jansen. And the customary rec specs. The 1-0. Check swing. Pitch was down. Appeal to first, no swing. Didn't look all that close. It's 2-0.
Finally, that eye black that Danny Jansen wears is useful.
It is. Same with Jose Caballero, who has cat whiskers of some sort. He's on second. On first base is Taylor Walls. 2-0 Rays, 1 out. Top of the 2nd inning. And the pitch. Called a strike. Wonder if Gausman starts to think about a move to second, maybe an inside move. The Rays base runners are testing their luck right now. Some big secondaries, especially Jose Caballero off second base, is stretching his lead out very big when Gausman starts the motion, and there's an inside move. No throw from Gausman.
I mean, you said it. This is a perfect opportunity for Jose Caballero to potentially take third base, and he was kind of moving around out there. He had a huge lead. Kevin Gausman with the perfect inside move there.
Step off now and throw back to second, and a dive back from Caballero. They tried to surprise him going 2 in a row. Didn't work out, though, so now Caballero knows that almost certainly they won't throw over a third time. Ernie Clement, the second baseman, playing up the middle due to the shift, is only a couple feet away from the bag. The pitch, Caballero takes off, low a ball, throw down to third, not in time. Addison Barger gave a look like maybe the Blue Jays should take a look at this. The throw bounced, Barger picked it and applied a tag. But for now, a double steal makes it second and third for the Rays.
Well, I thought they got him. Obviously, our view is not the greatest view out there, but it looks like John Schneider, they're not going to review that.
It's interesting. Schneider almost made the challenge sign, but rescinded it, and I think that's the right call looking at it now. It was really close, but I think Caballero got in there. Infield in, second and third, 1 out. 2-1 pitch to Danny Jansen. Lined out to left field, charging in Lucas. That's down for a base hit. Caballero scores. Right behind him, Walls. Throw to the plate, and they got him. What a toss from Nathan Lucas. 1 hops to home plate, picked up chest high by Kirk, who tags Walls on the chest to make it a 1-run single rather than a 2-run single. It is still 3-0 Rays on the RBI hit from Danny Jansen.
What a throw from Nathan Lucas. That was a perfect throw on a line, a 1-hopper, that long hop that's really easy for the catcher to catch. And Alejandro Kirk catches it perfectly, puts the tag on Taylor Walls for a big out, really, in this ball game, keeping it 3-0 instead of 4-0.
And now 2 down in the inning. Top of the order hitter is up. It's Josh Lowe. Danny Jansen leading off at first. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. playing a step off the bag, half holding him on. The pitch. Swing and a pop-up. Foul, third base side, long run Barger, and that one hits off the netting where the short wall starts to jut out toward the field. It's 0-1. For Nathan Lucas, too, he did not have a lot of time. He was shallow, but while Caballero, the lead runner, was waiting for that ball to get down, it appeared like Walls got a great read on it. He took off right away. He was only about 10 feet behind Caballero, the lead runner, rounding third a second after Caballero took off. And Lucas put enough on it to get the out and outfield assist. And a 3-0 lead for the Rays. The 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And I was surprised at that arm strength. Obviously, Addison Barger, we've seen him show off that arm in right field, but pretty nice arm out there in left field from Nathan Lucas.
One pitch. Popped up again, foul, and another one out of play, 1-2. Now a discussion behind the plate happening between Adrian Johnson and Josh Lowe. Lowe was pointing out, I don't know if it was toward the mound or something else, but something seems to have at least annoyed Josh Lowe, the left-handed hitter for the Rays.
Maybe a quick pitch? That's
Maybe.
all I could think of. I can't think of anything else that he's annoyed with right now.
We'll keep an eye on it. Second game of the season for Lowe. First game back off the injured list. The 1-2. Hit away foul off to the left. Deep into the seats in the 100 level.
And they're still having a discussion. That one was a little quicker than the first one, but who knows what they're talking about.
I wonder if is Gausman coming to a full stop? He bounces that left foot, freezes for a moment, and now the 1-2. Broken bat bouncer to second on 2 hops picked up by Clement. Turns his body, throws to first, and a good stretch by Guerrero to get the out and end the inning. The Rays score 1 on 3 hits. They leave 1 on. It could have been 2, but a great throw by Nathan Lucas cuts down Taylor Walls.
As every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's Building Center. Visit timbermart.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. He gets Verdugo for his 7th strikeout.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Alejandro Kirk digging in for the Blue Jays. 3-0 for the Rays. Bottom of the second, and the pitch from Zach Littell called a strike, 0-1. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue, Show Ali, our host and producer, Tom Young and Austin Mackey, our technical directors. The 0-1. Called a strike again, 0-2. Alejandro Kirk hitting .293 on the year, .716 OPS, 4 doubles, 3 homers, and 16 RBIs. He's coming off a 2-for-4 day, which included the 3-run homer that provided all 3 runs for the Blue Jays in the win. 0-2. In the dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
In his last 13 games, he's hitting .401. Wait, 404? 401. I'm not sure.
It's your stat. I don't know what you're looking at me for.
Well, I saw this stat earlier, and I'm trying to remember exactly what
404.
it was. 404. There you go.
I found it. 1-2. Fouled off to the right, back behind the plate.
That's what happens when you get old and you don't write things down.
Yeah. Well, start writing because you're not getting younger. Kirk, Barger, and Clement up this inning. 1-2. Swing and a liner. Center field. Slide and a catch in center by Meisner. Really nice play from the rookie center fielder. More good contact from Kirk, but nothing to show for it. 1 out.
I mean, Kirk just continues to swing the bat well. It was a tough slider, and Kirk just barreled that thing up, hit a good line drive. Meisner makes a pretty nice diving play in those shadows out in center field.
Kirk almost hit it too hard. He hit it 109 miles an hour. 101 might have dropped in front of Meisner. Pitch to Addison Barger. High, ball 1.
It looked like Meisner landed on that left shoulder of his, got up really slowly, and he's kind of bending over in center field.
Yeah, and that is his throwing arm, so that's a little concerning for the Rays. 1-0. High, 2-0. A Rays team that brought Josh Lowe off the IL today, but replaced him with Travis Jankowski. Lowe back from an oblique strain. Jankowski, an outfielder, tweaked his groin yesterday. 2-0. Called strike. Left-handed hitting Barger, 13 for 61, 6 doubles, a homer, 8 RBIs. Wide open stance left side, the 2-1. Check swing, pitch was high, appealed to third, and he went. Looked like it to the naked eye from up here. It's 2-2. Three 0 for the Rays. Home half of the second. Bases empty and 1 out. Littell with his light-colored glove sets at his chest. And the 2-2. Swing and a high fly ball. Deep right field. Looking up, Caballero. That baby's gone. A sky-scraping blast for Addison Barger. His 2nd home run of the season. And the Blue Jays are on the board. It's 3-1.
That's a beautiful swing from Addison Barger. 109 miles an hour off the bat, 414 feet out to right field. It was just a hanging splitter that Addison Barger waits back on and absolutely drills that thing into the bleachers in right field. What a swing.
First pitch down to Ernie Clement, up top, ball 1. Swings like that, why Addison Barger has become a constant in the lineup for the Blue Jays over the last week, maybe week and a half. 1-0. Called a strike. Littell kicks and offers. Foul back 1-2. You could say this about a lot of things, but doesn't that home run look just a little bit prettier in the sunlight? CN Tower hanging over right field. 1-2 to Clement. Hit on the ground is shortstop. Moving to his left. Walls picks it up, shuffles his feet, and throws to first for the second out.
I mean, I think there's very few things prettier than an Addison Barger moonshot. But I've always said that I love the Rogers Center when the roof is open. When the roof is closed, there's a lot of ballparks that are better than it.
Roof open, it is fantastic. 2 outs, nobody on. 3-1 for the Rays, and the pitch to Miles Straw. It's popped up, foul territory, right side. Danny Jansen ditching the mask on the end. Warning track, makes the catch right up against the netting, and that will do it for the inning. The Blue Jays get one. Addison Barger with a solo shot, and Toronto on the board. 3-1 is the score after 2 innings in favor of the Rays. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio.
I'm Jonathan Mayo, and for more than 20 years, I've traced the path of baseball's rising stars, navigating the back roads of the national pastime and basking in the glow of small-town America's spirit, where the team is woven into the fabric of everyday life, where it's more than just a game. It's a celebration of the people, the traditions, and the culture that give these places their soul. This is Grassroots.
I went to college at Northeastern University, and all my friends were Red Sox fans. And while in my 3 years there, I really grew to appreciate Red Sox Nation and everything that they bring to the table. And once I got my head wrapped around the trade, I was really, really excited. I think they have one of the most iconic logos, these 2 Sox right here on the sleeve. I love keeping it simple, really fond of the font, and I think it's a really cool look.
.ca.
Hola, soy Andrés Jiménez y estás escuchando el béisbol de los Toronto Blue Jays en la cadena de Radio Sportnet.
Welcome back to downtown Toronto. It's the Blue Jays trailing the Rays 3-1 as we get going in the 3rd inning at Rogers Center. Alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Kevin Gausman on the hill. His pitch to Brandon Lau. Called a strike. Lau with a 2-run shot in the 1st inning. Difference in the game right now. Rays up 3-1. His 6th home run of the season. The 0-1. Pitch misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And you could tell that Kevin Gausman and Alejandro Kirk aren't messing around with 4-seam fastballs thigh high like they did in his last at-bat. Hit a home run to right field. A couple of splitters to start this at-bat off.
1-1. Fastball high and tight, fouled back, 1-2.
If you're going to throw a fastball, that's the location right there. Good 4-seam fastball up around the hands. Can't do anything with that.
You can't let Lau get extended. He's got big power. Hit 39 home runs in 2021 and really hasn't been healthy enough over the last couple years to come close to matching it. But in less action, has hit 20 homers each of the last 2 years. 1-2. Hit hard, but foul way off to the left.
How about that fastball? 97 miles an hour on the black outside.
If you're going to empty the tank at any point, this is the part of the lineup you want to do it against. Lau, Caminero, Aranda, 2, 3, 4 are really leading this offense, especially with no Yandy Diaz. 1-2, rolled over on the ground to second. Backhanded Clement throws back to first, and there's 1 out. Jays Care's 50-50 jackpot is approaching $300,000, $299,700 right now, and it could be yours in just 1 week. Thanks to your support, thousands of kids will have the opportunity to play baseball through Bassett's Pitch In, his foundation that partners with Jays Care. Don't miss your chance to win big while supporting a great cause. BlueJays.com/5050 Ontario or Nova Scotia. First pitch to Junior Caminero is a splitter for a strike. Pardon me, that's the slider on the first pitch from Kevin Gausman. Either way, he's ahead 0-1. Oh, one offering. Swing and a miss. 97 again, nothing in 2.
Such a good sequence there. A good slider away for a strike and then bust him in with that four-seam fastball at 97. Now you can really do whatever you want. You can go up, you can go away.
0-2 pitch. Bounce to the plate, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Slight knee bend for Caminero. Pops the bat back and forth off of his right shoulder. The 1-2. Grounded foul, third base side, banging off the camera well beyond the Blue Jays dugout. Another 1-2. Foul back again.
He's really got a good fastball today. 98 miles an hour with that last four-seamer. I keep climbing that ladder if I'm Kevin Gausman, especially if I have that kind of command, that kind of velocity.
He kicks and offers. Missed outside, went with the slider that time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He struck out Caminero in the first inning. It was on a splitter in the dirt. Righties 2-2. Lined off of Gausman. He's racing to pick it up on the line. Tags Caminero for the out, and now the attention goes to the Blue Jays starting pitcher. That ball was hit 117 miles an hour off of Kevin Gausman, who looks to be in a little bit of discomfort at a minimum, but he did stay on his feet. Now his hands on his knees on the hill.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that got him. I think it was on the lower body. But you can see him just limping just a little bit. Yeah, right in that right hip. That can't feel good right now.
I was hoping for him, maybe it was a little more on the backside. The good news is he never went down to the ground. He's still standing up right now. And it looks like he's going to try out a warm-up pitch or two, although Alejandro Kirk is currently getting some dirt out of his cleats on the backside of the mound.
And that's his push-off leg. I'm actually not sure what would be worse, push-off or landing leg. But it is his push-off leg, so he uses that leg, obviously, to push off.
See Gausman throw a pitch here to Alejandro Kirk. Look normal for what that's worth, but still talking right now with Jose Ministral and John Schneider. He's showing something, it looks like, on his hand. The ball did ricochet and hit him a second time, but it looks like he's going to remain in this ball game, and that is great news for Gausman and the Blue Jays. Will have to keep monitoring it for now. You know what? And he actually, we're getting a look on the Sportsnet TV broadcast. He might have scuffed up his hand as he went to get the ball, used his throwing hand to stop himself in a slide on the dirt, picking up the baseball. Either way, Gausman remains in, 2 outs and the bases empty, 3-1 Rays.
Also, we haven't talked much about this, but heck of a play.
Really great play. Really good play. Right on left, the pitch to Jonathan Aranda. Hit foul off to the left side. So that ball hit 116.5 miles an hour. Hit Gausman, rolled all the way from the mound to the first baseline, and he beat Caminero to the ball by enough that he could stand up and tag him on the line. Didn't even have to throw over to first base. 0-1. Fouled off to the left again, nothing in 2.
Who says pitchers aren't athletes?
You, constantly.
I think I've said that a couple times.
Gausman, though, looking good in terms of his pitches right now, too. Just threw a 95-mile-an-hour heater, so doesn't seem to be impacting his velocity, at least. I'm sure it's something they'll continue to check out after Gausman wraps up this inning. 2 outs, top of the third, 3-1 Rays, bases empty. And the 0-2 to Aranda. Bounce to the plate, ball 1. New baseballs for Adrian Johnson. Puts them into his pouches on both the right and left side for the home plate umpire. Gausman pulls on the brim of his cap and steps back onto the rubber. He's set, bouncing that lead left leg. And the 1-2. Hit back foul. Good piece of contact there from Aranda. It was 97 on the outside edge, and he was all over it, just missed. Infield shifted toward the first base side of the diamond. Left-handed hitter Aranda loves to pull. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Splitter at the bottom of the zone in the first 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Gausman, even with a bruise on his right hip added in between. 3-1 Rays, middle of the third. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sports.
Man, these seats. I know, right? Thank you, Game Time. Easiest way to find only the best deals on the best seats. I wonder how the other guys are doing.
These seats are trash. What the heck, man? I spent hours finding a deal on these. Trash.
Oof. Finding seats for prices this good is tough.
They should have used Game Time. No more endless searching. Just great options at incredible prices with their Game Time picks.
What time is it?
Game Time.
Let's open this up. Take a look at what we find. Looks like we've got Lauren Shahadi.
Animation is great.
We got Robert Flores, one of the stars of MLB Central with Lauren Shahadi. Then we got Mark DeRosa. Look at that. He looks like Superman, does he not?
Right? He was when he was with the Cubs.
Harold Reynolds looking ripped in a tracksuit in Studio 42. There I am. The hair's all
I know this guy.
Look at that jawline.
All win when you click before you dig. Direct!
I started selling Nissans over 30 years ago. Barely speaking English. No shortcuts, just hustle. One car, one customer at a time. I know what it takes to build something real. And at Direct Nissan, you are not just a number. Sure, you can buy a Nissan anywhere. Or you can buy from the guy on the radio who's been doing it longer than just about anyone. I am Greg Carrasco, managing partner at Direct Nissan, the original Nissan guy. When you think Nissan, think directnissan.ca.
Direct!
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Kirk smacks it down the left field line. This one's got a chance. It's gone!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bottom of the third inning, the Blue Jays are trailing the Tampa Bay Rays 3-1 as Nathan Lucas steps up. Here's the pitch from Zach Littell. It's high and outside, ball 1. This third inning brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Guelph and Elmira. Crown is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated since 1986, so protect your vehicle from rust today at your local Crown Rust Control Center or visit crown.com. Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Next pitch to Lucas, hit foul off to the left. It's 1-1. Littell kicks, delivers. And Lucas fights it away, foul 1-2.
The Sportsnet cameras just showed Pete Walker on the phone talking to the bullpen. I'm not sure what's happening, but that can't be a good sign. There is some movement down there in that bullpen right now. Maybe just warning them.
The 1-2. Called, strike 3, 91 on the inside edge, 1 out. Well, if you weren't with us before the break, the reason why is Kevin Gausman in the top of the third got hit with an 117-mile-per-hour line drive in the right hip. He stayed on the hill to complete the inning, But Mason Fluharty has a jacket off. You can see his jerseys moving around in the bullpen. We'll see if that develops anymore. Pitch to Bo Bichette. Low ball 1.
It could be a, hey, just in case. He's sitting down, he's cooling down. Who knows what he's going to feel like when he gets back out on that mound. Wait and see.
The 1-0. Hit foul off to the right.
And it does look like a wait and see. Nobody's on the mound yet. Like you said, Mason Fluharty moving around, running some sprints out there. They're probably going to let Kevin Gausman go out there and just see how he feels.
Gausman is still in the dugout. He has not gone down into the clubhouse, which generally would be a good sign. It doesn't look like, from the way he's dressed and sitting, that he is out of this ball game. Littell's 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Meanwhile, on the other side, his opponent, Zach Littell, has looked quite good so far. He's gone once through the order, allowing just 2 hits and 1 run while walking 1. Lone big mistake was the home run allowed to Barger in the second. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Littell strikes out Bo Bichette, and there are 2 down.
He's just such an interesting starter. Obviously, he was a reliever for a lot of his career, but he bleeds with the slider, then he throws the split finger, and then he throws the fastball. Must be such a difficult guy to face, especially when you see so many hard fastballs in today's Major League Baseball. Then you get a guy like this who leads with 2 off-speed pitches.
Unique in many ways. Littell deals to Vlad Guerrero Jr., misses inside, ball 1. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Don't strike out on your next home improvement project. Your team at Timbermart has the great advice and the products you need, so you'll get the job done right, knock it out of the park, win the day with Timbermart, Canada's building center. Called strike against Vladdy. It's 1-1, and alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Littell looking to strike out this side after he got Lucas looking and Bichette swinging. 2 outs, bottom of 3, the 1-1. Inside. We're seeing more of this in today's game, but still not that common that guys go from reliever to starter. Much more common the other way around. The 2-1. Swing and a deep drive. Left field, headed to the bullpen. It's out of here. A blast from Vladimir Guerrero Jr., his 5th of the season, and the Blue Jays have homered in consecutive innings. It's 3-2 for the Rays over Toronto, bottom 3.
Well, how about that swing from Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? Hit that on a frozen rope into the Blue Jays bullpen in left field, 115 miles an hour off the bat. Blue Jays are right back in this ball game. It's 3-2.
We're seeing more line drives than high fly balls at this stage of the season from Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but he hits it so hard, even a lot of those line drives have a chance to get out. That one did for Vladdy, and it's a 1-run game with Anthony Santander hitting and 2 outs. Littell's pitch. Swing and a high pop-up back of second. Deep on the right field turf, Brandon Lau is waved off by the right fielder Jose Caballero, who makes the catch to end the inning. 1 run for the Blue Jays on 1 hit, a solo shot from Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and it's 3-2 for the Rays after 3 innings. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
When you get a Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and class-leading safety and...
Here we go. This is a classic road jersey for Boston. This is the first uniform I put on when I came with Boston. When you see those 2 socks together, that's one thing I know I had to do. I had to make sure I had my red socks high, okay? My 2 red socks, because, you know, there's 2 here.
Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
4th inning in Toronto. Kevin Gausman back out on the hill. Great news for the Blue Jays and their fans after Gausman was struck by a liner last inning. And his first pitch to Cameron Meisner called a strike. Rays leading 3-2 with the Blue Jays with the last 2 runs in the game, including Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s 5th home run of the season, which came in the bottom of the 3rd. Right on left. Gausman to Meisner in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. This 4th inning is presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app for today's baseball odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. The 1-1. Swing and a deep drive out to right. Santander going back, turns around. It's gone. Cameron Meisner with his 4th major league home run and his 4th this season. The Rays extend their lead back out to 2. It's 4-2 Tampa Bay in the 4th.
Well, it wasn't a bad pitch from Kevin Gausman. It was a slider, one of those slower sliders down below the bottom of that strike zone, and Cameron Meisner goes down and golfs that thing on a line into the bleachers in right field. A little bit higher than I thought watching that replay. Maybe at the bottom of the strike zone. Still a pretty good swing from Meisner.
So a 4th home run already today. Pitch to Jose Caballero, cut on and missed, strike 1. Well, early on this game looking more like game 1 of this series, the 11-9 slugfest, rather than game 2, the 3-1 win for the Blue Jays. 0-1. Called to strike, 0-2.
Do you think the pitchers are going to say it's because the roof is open?
They probably will. But I've talked to a handful of guys over the last couple of years, and I just can't get a good read on what that actually means for the ball. 0-2. Foul back again. I'd like to think, I'd hope, that the Blue Jays have some very scientific data about it, and their front office or their coaching staff or both have a good idea on what their opinion is. Does the ball fly more roof open or roof closed? 0-2. Swing and slicing, 1 bouncer to second. Picked up Clements, throws over to first, gets Caballero 1 down. But I've heard guys tell me it flies better roof open. I've heard better roof closed. It's gone back and forth, at least from the players.
From my point of view today, every single one of those home runs has been a pitch over the middle of the plate.
Well, I think all of them cleared the wall by enough.
Right.
That roof open, roof closed doesn't make a difference.
Wouldn't have mattered.
1 out, here's Taylor Walls. Switch hitter bats left, swings at the first pitch and shoots it to left field. On the run, Lucas dives in the corner. He got it. What a catch. Nathan Lucas sliding into the sidewall, 2 down.
How about that? An outfield assist, a diving catch. What a day for Nathan Lucas so far.
From our view, he actually disappeared into the corner making the catch, but you knew he got it because Barger put 2 hands in the air, Gausman put 2 hands in the air, Vladdy took his hat off. They were all loving it on the big play from Lucas. 2 outs, 4-2 Rays. Top of the 4th, and a first pitch strike to Chandler Simpson, the left-handed hitter. Simpson popped up a bunt to third base in foul territory in the 2nd. The 0-1. Called strike, 0-2. Simpson hitting 8th today. He had led off a ton in his debut season to start, but probably a better spot to put a true rookie in now, having him hit near the bottom of the order with Josh Lowe back off the IL leading off. 0-2 pitches low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He was the first Ray ever, not the oldest franchise, but still the first Ray ever to make his major league debut hitting at the top of the order.
It's a lot of pressure.
1-2 pitch. Foul back.
I think there's 2 spots in the order where hitters that aren't seasoned or veterans tend to do too much and put too much pressure on themselves. Top of the order, leadoff, and then you have the cleanup spot. Because there's this idea of what you're supposed to do in that spot.
1-2. Foul tip and dropped out of the glove by Kurtz. So it'll be a foul ball. It's still 1-2.
Obviously, at the top of the order, you're supposed to work the count. You're supposed to see a bunch of pitches.
Cleanup hitter, you're supposed to clean up the
homers.
Yeah.
So guys try to do too much. They change their swing. They change their approach.
It's the only two spots in the order that actually have their own names outside of the number. Leadoff and cleanup.
There you go.
1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Splitter strikes out Simpson, but Cameron Meisner, the rookie, with a leadoff home run, and the Rays are up 4-2, middle of the fourth. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
I believe this one's it's a rookie card, I know, but I feel like it's the first card that I ever, big league card. Obviously, as a kid, trying to get to the big leagues, the dream of making it, but as a kid that had cards, right, as a kid, this is like seeing your card the first time is pretty cool. So that's pretty powerful when you see that card.
I feel like food and sharing a meal with someone is a universal language. You can't go to a ballpark and not have a nice hot dog. So if I'm at the ballpark, I'm gonna get a nice heavy glizzy. You gotta have chili on there, you gotta have cheese. If your hot dog isn't bending in the middle because it's about to fall apart, then you're not doing it right. So you gotta have a glizzy and then something cold, whatever it is, beer, lemonade. You gotta have something cold to wash that hot dog down with.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike three. He keeps this game tied
on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
George Springer leads it off for the Blue Jays. Bottom of the fourth inning, 4-2 is the lead right now for the Rays over the Jays. Alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Zach Littell kicks and offers. First pitch down and away, ball one. Offensive leader for the Blue Jays, even after the ground ball double play. Springer hitting .286 this year, 5 homers, .897 on base plus slugging. 1-0. Called low, 2 balls, no strikes. Two-0 pitch. Swing and a high fly ball. Deep left center field. Meisner back on the warning track, leaps, and he makes the catch up against the wall. What a day so far for Cameron Meisner, and there's one out.
The Outertown Scoreboard is brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill, 100% Canadian owned and operated since 1992. Every Tuesday night, wings are just half price. Visit stlouiswings.com for details. You are welcome.
I like the segue. Hard cut into the out-of-town scoreboard. One out. Here's Alejandro Kirk. 4-2 Rays, bottom 4, and the pitch is lifted to shallow center. This one a little more routine for Meisner. Jogs in, makes the catch, 2 outs.
Ben, I'm trying to get it in. I don't want St. Louis Bar and Grill to get upset with me.
You're being a good company, man. Let's go to the out-of-town scoreboard. The Baltimore Orioles, man, they are having a tough time. They were shut out today by the Minnesota Twins. 4-0 the final score in that game. The Twins have won 11 in a row. Became the first team yesterday to win 10 in a row this season. Now up to 11 after the 4-0 win. Pitch to Addison Barger. Fouled off the mask of the home plate umpire, Adrian Johnson. It's 0-1. Did see that Byron Buxton got involved in a collision in that game, and it looks like 7-1 in Cincinnati, and the Braves are at 500 now, 22-22 after a 5-2 win over the Nationals. Most teams off. The Blue Jays the only team in action right now against the Rays. 0-2. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Couple games are coming up later. It's rivalry weekend coming up in Major League Baseball. It's a new thing for the majors. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a pop-up third base side. Long run Caminero into foul territory on the side warning track and a two-handed snow cone catch to end the inning. 1-2-3 for Zach Littell in the frame, including a fantastic catch-up against the wall by Cameron Meisner. 4-2.
Here we go. This is a classic road jersey for Boston. This is the first uniform I put on when I came with Boston. When you see those two socks together, that's one thing I know I had to do. I had to make sure I had my red socks high, okay? My two red socks, because, you know, there's two here.
What is it that kind of got you hooked as a foodie, so to speak?
My dad was really into food when I was a kid. He traveled for work and he would go to places all over Europe and stuff. He was in sales and I feel like he would come home and try and cook the things he ate overseas. And so as a kid, I was exposed to a lot of like stuff that kids aren't usually exposed to. And so I credit my dad for that.
Through Ontario One Call before digging for any size project. I'm Doug Spade reminding you that we all win when you click before you dig.
Hey, this is Kevin Gosman. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Fifth inning in downtown Toronto, the Blue Jays and the Rays in a rubber match. Game 3 of the series, 4-2, Tampa Bay leads. Kevin Gosman back out on the hill and his pitch to Danny Jansen. Check swing, called strike, 0-1. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Wanted to get a little bit more into rivalry weekend with you, Chris, if you're open to it. You seem unimpressed. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Gosman to Jansen. Swinging a grounder, hit hard, foul. 0-2.
I'm not unimpressed. I just don't like manufactured rivalries.
Okay. Well, I would say, we'll get into rivalry weekend in a sec, but I would say that most of these are going to be very fun series.
Okay.
Right on right, the 0-2 to Danny Jansen. Outside ball 1. So we'll go back to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard because these are a lot of out-of-town games. Rivalry weekend does start tonight. There's one series of rivalry weekend beginning when Houston and Texas link up at 8 Eastern.
You see that pitching matchup, by the way?
1-2 pitch outside, 2-2. That's why I bring it up.
Holy cow.
Hunter Brown, Jacob deGrom, two of the best in the game right now, going up against each other. That's going to be a great game. That one again, 8 Eastern in Texas. 2-2. Popped up. Back is shortstop Bo Bichette waving around his right arm on the left field turf, makes the catch. 1 out. I should say in Arlington, because both those teams are in Texas, in Arlington, but here's some of the series for rivalry weekend. They wanted to get a lot of especially geographically based rivals against each other at the same time. So Astros Rangers, you have the Subway Series, Mets Yankees, Angels Dodgers. You have the two teams from Ohio, the Guardians and the Reds. They're going to play not a huge rivalry, but you can see why they do it. First pitch to Josh Lowe, called a strike, 4-2 Rays, 1 out, top of the 5th.
I do disagree with Angels Dodgers. Shouldn't it be Dodgers Giants?
They went geographical.
Ah, that's true, I guess.
The 0-1. Low 1-1. And because of that, the Giants series is the A's. Now, it would have been even closer had the A's not left Oakland.
I like that series.
Oakland, San Francisco
I like that series.
has been a big deal over the last while. Now it's Sacramento, San Francisco. The 1-1. Swing and a hard hit ball deep center field. Straw sprinting back at the wall. It's out of here. Third home run today. Josh Lowe goes deep for the first time this season. Third home run today for the Rays. It's 5-2 Tampa Bay, top of the fifth.
Josh Lowe absolutely hammered that baseball. 106 miles an hour off the bat. 408 feet to center field. Miles Straw did everything he could to try to catch that baseball. It just went over his glove.
It's a four-seam fastball. Kind of bottom middle of the zone, a little above the knees. He crushed that ball.
I mean, again, I'm sure the players will talk about the ball flying with the roof open, but that's just a very hittable pitch right down the middle, really, right?
It doesn't feel like any of these home runs have anything to do with the conditions. Pitch to Brandon Lau is sprayed foul to the left. It's 0-1. So 5-2 Rays. Some of the rivalry week series as we continue to look at the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. You have Cardinals-Royals, both Missouri-based teams. Twins and Brewers, Minnesota-Wisconsin, always a big rivalry in almost any sport. 1, swing and a miss, 0-2. White Sox and Cubs. Nationals and Orioles. You have the Maryland-DC rivalry there. You have Rays and Marlins, the two Florida teams, Pirates and Phillies.
What a rival.
I know, huge rivalry. Pirates and Phillies, the two Pennsylvania teams. There are a couple clunkier series mixed in. But I think you get a lot of really fun matchups, especially for the fans in the ballparks as the 0-2 misses down and away 1-2. To have a ballpark full of Pennsylvanians or full of Floridians or full of Californians. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Splitter outside. Swing and a miss by Lau, and there are 2 outs.
That last at bat, it almost seemed like Kevin Gausman was angry after that home run, pitching like he was on a mission. A really good split finger to finish off Brandon Lau there.
New baseball for Gausman before taking on Junior Caminero. The Blue Jays series in rivalry weekend is the Detroit Tigers, which is a close team geographically and historically a big rival of the Blue Jays. Pitch to Caminero, cut on and miss, strike 1.
What would be the most obvious rival of the Jays? The Phillies?
Well, so they had them natural rivals years ago, and they used to play each other every year in interleague play. But is there really a rivalry there beyond they played in one World Series 30 years ago? 0-1 pitch is high, 1-1. I mean, ideally, it's the Montreal Expos. Unfortunately, that can't happen. You can't really say the Yankees or the Red Sox. They both would say each other. It's not really the Orioles. It's not really the Rays. 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Well, the Rays have the Marlins.
They do, yeah. And the Orioles have the Nats.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was talking about when I was saying manufactured.
I do think Detroit makes sense. I mean, for both those fan bases, you're going to see a lot of away fan travel when those series take place. There is a history when they were in the same division for all those years. You know, there are many Blue Jays fans who I think still get sour taste in their mouth thinking about 1987. 1-2 pitch lined by Caminero, and that'll go down in left field, a base hit. So runner on first here for the Rays. 5-2 Tampa Bay, 2 outs, top of the 5th.
Unfortunately, the Tigers are very good this year.
Yeah. Good for their fans. You want to hear my worst matchups of rivalry weekend?
Is it the two worst teams, or is it just the
this
most
isn't a rivalry
right,
and what?
Right. Okay, all right.
And these teams were clearly left over. Easy one. Braves, Red Sox. That's not a rivalry.
No, not even close.
Not even close. Padres, Mariners. First pitch to Jonathan Aranda. This is low. Ball 1.
Both West Coast. You can make that argument, I guess.
Sure. That's it. Those are the worst two.
Yeah.
And, you know, Rockies D-backs not really a rivalry, but they are in the same division.
I was about to say, who are the Diamondbacks playing?
1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, 1-1. They're at least in the same division, so I wouldn't put them in the category of the others. But those are maybe the three clunkier ones, but not everyone has an exact clear rivalry or geographical rivalry. 1-1. Lifted to the left field corner. That one's fading. It's going to go into the seats foul. 1-2. But yeah, rivalry weekend or rivalry week, whatever you want to call it, starting today on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard with Houston visiting Texas at 8:05 Eastern. The Rays in Toronto right now, leading the Blue Jays 5-2. 2 outs, top of the 5th. And Arana asks for time, an emphatic time call from Adrian Johnson, the home plate umpire. Arana with a quarter swing now steps back in. Black bat for the left-handed hitter. Stretches out his arms as he brings the bat around in a full circle, shimmies his shoulders, and now rests the bat on that left shoulder. 1-2. Fastball, caught him looking, strike 3, 98 at the knees. Kevin Gausman strands a runner on first to end the top of the 5th, but another solo shot for the Rays. Josh Lowe leaves the yard. It's 5-2 Tampa Bay, middle of the 5th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your...
Well, when we moved downtown San Diego from Qualcomm to Petco Ballpark, new uniforms were on the way, and this is the Padre home white. This jersey is from 2007, which was a career year for myself, winning a Cy Young. There's some different memories that stand out. One in this uniform against the Braves, where I struck out a Padre record 16, wearing this jersey, trying to make the Padre and the Friar faithful proud.
From the very best brands in golf. Buy now and use promo code PRINTED for free text personalization only at golfballs.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Blue Jays up 3-2 on a wacky play to give Toronto the lead.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Ernie Clement fouls the ball back into the netting, and we're underway in the 5th inning, bottom of the 5th. 5-2 for the Rays over the Blue Jays. Blue Jays baseball is presented by Crown Rust Protection. 2 solo homers for Toronto today. 0-1. Grounded foul, 0-2. Blue Jays now send the bottom third of the order up against righty Zach Littell. Ernie Clement, Miles Straw, and Nathan Lucas will hit this inning for Toronto. Right-handed hitting Clement leans slightly over the plate. The 0-2. Swing and a pop-up, right side of the diamond. First baseman Aranda turns his body toward the first base dugout and makes the catch, shielding himself from the sun. There's 1 out.
Zach Littell has thrown just 53 pitches in this ball game. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. He's been really efficient.
He's been sharp, except for his 2 big misses. Both misses have been punished. Other than that, he's looked really good. With 1 out, he'll face Miles Straw, who he induced a pop-up from in the 2nd inning. The pitch. Outside, ball 1. This 5th inning is brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care at desjardins.com/care today. Right on right, the 1-0. Call to strike. This is just another find for the Rays. Littell, not a high draft pick. was picked in the 11th round by Seattle at a high school in 2013. 1-1 is outside, 2-1. He was a starter in the minors, but he was traded a couple times to the Yankees at one point, to Minnesota at the 2017 deadline. It's when Jaime Garcia went the other way. 2-1 pitch on the corner. It's 2-2. But broke through at 22 years old as a reliever with the Twins. Part of their pen for a little bit. Pitched in the Giants' pen. Very brief stint as a Red Sox. 2-2. Hit on the ground at third. A stop there by Caminero, but he's just going to put it in his pocket. Had to race over to the foul line to bring it in. It's actually a really nice play by the rookie. It's a single for Straw, but it would have been extra bases if he didn't snare that baseball.
Yeah, and that's a huge play in this ball game because there's one out in this inning, and you keep Miles Straw at first base. If that ball gets by Caminero, that's a double. He's at second base with less than 2 outs. A much better chance of scoring in this inning.
Maybe Straw, though, will try to take second himself. He does have 2 stolen bases this year. The pitch to Nathan Lucas. Looked high, called a strike, 0-1. Third baseman Caminero plays in. Everyone else back and shifted to the pull side. Shortstop Taylor Walls almost straight up the middle. 0-1. Bounced up the middle right at Walls. He fields, steps on second, throws to first, double play, and that's it for the inning. No runs on a hit, nobody left for the Blue Jays after 5 innings. 5-2 Tampa Bay. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center.
Where did you get these seats? They're trash.
I got a guy.
You've got a guy. You gotta use Game Time for concert tickets.
Game Time's for sports. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. It's also the best way to guarantee you're getting the lowest price to your favorite artists too, even at the last minute.
What time is it? It's game time!
Concert tonight? Get in last minute with Game Time.
Guess who just bundled their home and auto with Desjardins Insurance?
Well, look at you, all grown up and saving money.
Yes, I am.
Mom told you to do it, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Get insurance that's really big on care. Switch and you could save up to 35% on home insurance when you bundle home and auto. Desjardins Insurance, here for your home, auto, life, and business needs. Certain conditions apply.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Way back, and Jimenez has done it again.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Top of the 6th, Blue Jays trailing the Rays 5-2 at Rogers Center, with the sun still covering at least half of the field and all of the infield. Kevin Gausman's back on the mound. His pitch to Cameron Meisner. Called strike. The 6th inning brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care today. Number 5 hitter in the Rays order, Meisner, putting together a great day. 0-1. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Came up with a sliding catch to take a hit away from Alejandro Kirk in the 2nd. Had a leaping catch at the wall in the 4th to take away extra bases from George Springer, and he's homered. Faces a 1-1 and takes it for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike.
He kind of looks like Cody Bellinger in that batter's box, doesn't he? With that straight up, tall, left-handed stance up there.
6'4", 220. Cameron Meisner. The 2-1. Swing and a bouncer to third. Vacuumed up Addison Barger. Throws on to first for the out. Good reflexes. Barger was playing in, and luckily for him, it got hit almost right at him.
Yeah, perfect position, too. Pretty good scouting report on Meisner. Addison Barger was playing kind of in the hole there on the left side of the infield. And like you said, right at him. Good reflexes and a perfect throw across the diamond.
Credit for the positioning can go to Carlos Fabulous, who deals with the infielders, as well as being the third base coach for the Blue Jays. I believe DeMarlo Hale would have a hand in that as well. Pitch to Jose Caballero. Called a strike, 0-1. Take a look at the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Nothing to update in terms of Major League Baseball scores right now, but we'll recap in case you didn't hear earlier. 0-1. Foul tipped, 0-2. Orioles fell 4-0 to the Minnesota Twins today as the Twins sweep to win their 11th in a row. Chris Paddock was fantastic in the start, giving up only 3 hits, 1 walk, and no runs in 7 innings for the Twins. Tomoyuki Sugano, who has been the best starter for the Orioles, didn't have his best day. He pitched into the 7th, but he gave up 4 runs in 6 1/3. 0-2. Fouled back behind home plate. Still no balls, 2 strikes. Just kind of a shocking start for Baltimore. Probably would have been my pick to win the division before the year. I think it would have been a lot of people's pick to at least have a good chance. 0-2. In the dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Not mine, Ben. I picked the Toronto Blue Jays.
There you go. Congratulations.
I'm just joking. I probably picked the Orioles.
Look, you needed to get the people on the side after your Canadians comments yesterday.
You realize this is a national broadcast,
I
right?
do. I know. They hate the Leafs more. 1 out and the 1-2. Hit high in the air, deep right center. Santander sprinting back. So is Straw, and a dive on the warning track, but it gets down past Santander. Up to second, standing, goes Jose Caballero. He's got a double with 1 out in the inning.
Well, that ball was perfectly placed. I thought that Santander had a beat on it. That ball stayed up in the air quite a long time, but it was just out of the reach of his glove as he dove into that gap in right center. Caballero ends up at second base.
Landed at the angle of the wall in front of the Tim Horton sign, kind of just past the right field bullpen, where the wall starts to get higher and higher towards straightaway center. Caballero, a second hit today and a 6th double of the season. Gausman staring at him as he kicks and deals to Taylor Waltz. High ball 1. Well, if we are checking the St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard, a congratulations to the Edmonton Oilers, who moved on to the Western Conference Final with their overtime win. 1-0. Fouled away, hit off Alejandro Kirk, whose head sags down for a moment. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's a goal from former Toronto Maple Leaf Kasperi Kapanen in overtime. He's got a bit of a flair for the dramatic, and that was certainly a dramatic goal as they eliminate the Vegas Golden Knights to move on and play the winner of the Stars and the Jets. Game 5 in that series, if I'm not mistaken, goes tonight with the Stars holding a 3-1 series lead. Gausman's 1-1. Hit on the ground to second base. 2 hops and into the glove of Ernie Clement, who throws over to first for the second out. Jose Caballero advances to third base. Action in the Blue Jay pen. The left-hander Mason Fluharty is up and throwing. But Kevin Gausman trying to get through a 6th inning. It has not been his sharpest day, but he would still do a lot for the Blue Jays to at least get through 6. He's thrown 97 pitches. It's 5-2 Rays, 2 outs and a runner on third. Pitch to Chandler Simpson. Swinging a pop-up over the netting left side, over the third base dugout, and into the seats, 0-1.
The interesting thing about this start for Kevin Gausman is his stuff has been very, very good. This is some of the best stuff we've seen from him this season. It's just the location, the command has been a little bit off, leaving some pitches over the middle of the plate. and that's where the Rays have done their damage.
0-1. Popped up foul again to the left and out of play to make it 0-2.
That last fastball was 96 miles an hour. I mean, he's thrown a fastball today at 99 miles an hour, so that arm's feeling really good. Luckily, that hip is feeling really good too.
Gausman took a line drive off of himself in the third inning. Stayed in the game, his 0-2. Sprayed foul to the left to get into the seats, and if you decided to buy a ticket down the left field line today, you got a good chance of getting a souvenir. Simpson is just dumping balls over to the fans.
100 pitches now in the ball game, 75 strikes, 25 balls for Kevin Gausman. That's a pretty good ratio.
5-2 Rays, 2 outs, top of the 6th. Runner on third, and another 0-2 is lined to center. Charging in, Straw pulls up. It's down in front of him, a base hit. Jogging home to score is Jose Caballero. RBI single. Chandler Simpson. Rays up 6-2.
Here comes John Schneider. That's the end of the day for Kevin Gausman, but just a really tough approach for Chandler Simpson. Gets the barrel to that ball and dumps it in front of Miles Straw for a big run in this ball game.
Clap of the hands from Schneider. He takes the baseball. It's a pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. 6-2, the Rays lead. Runner on first.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
I was in AAA, and right before the game, they said, no, you gotta stop. You need to hurry up and go to Cincinnati. You're about to go play a game there. You got 45 minutes till the game starts. So I get in my car and I start driving, and all I keep thinking about is, which jersey are they wearing that night? So when I get to the locker room, I see my jersey hung up, and love the white jerseys, just the stitching on it, the old school feel to it.
Minnesota Frost in OT. They lose 4-3. The Frost off to defend their Walter Cup title in the final. The Scepters are done for the year, so not the greatest night for Toronto hockey fans. Blue Jays baseball, as always, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back down to the Rogers Center. Here are Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. Mason Fluharty on the hill for the Blue Jays. The left-hander appears in his 17th game of his major league career, .216 ERA. He faces Danny Jansen, and the pitch. Foul tipped on a check swing, strike one. Chandler Simpson on first, a big stolen base threat, 6-2 Rays, 2 outs, top of the 6th. Mason Fluharty had nearly gone 30 at-bats against righties without allowing a hit until Danny Jansen homered off of him 2 days ago. 0-1 to Jansen. No, it's a step and throw to first. And a dive back in safely by Simpson. Simpson with a big lead off first. Not worried about the lefty on the hill. The 0-1. Swinging a deep drive. Left field corner. Racing back Lucas. It's down, and he fields it on a hop. Simpson loses his helmet going to third. Good throw by Lucas into second. Holds Jansen to a long single. It's runners on the corners. 2 outs.
How about Danny Jansen again getting to Mason Fluharty, getting that barrel to the baseball, ripping it into that left field corner. Nathan Lucas, like you said, a good job cutting that baseball off. And if he doesn't cut that off, Chandler Simpson is almost certainly scoring from first base. A ton of speed out there, but also keeping Danny Jansen at first.
Chance to keep it at 6-2. Simpson on third is Gosman's runner. On first, Jansen is Fluharty's runner. And now the pitch to Josh Lowe, left on left. Swinging a fly ball out to right. Santander started back. Now he'll freeze, camped under it. He makes the catch to end the inning. The Rays add on a run after Caballero's double. An RBI single from Chandler Simpson. A run on 3 hits. 2 left for Tampa Bay and a 6-2 lead. Middle of the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the
Your approach at the plate is impressing fans and teammates alike this season, Leo, but you're feeling motivated to go the extra mile for the game. Asking for feedback from your coaches and fellow teammates could be the missing key that helps you unlock a new level of success. Their tips could be the answer to getting you to the All-Star game.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Springer started right, coming in, leaps and makes the catch full stretch.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bottom 6, top of the order for the Blue Jays. Bo Bichette leading off. Zach Littell's pitch, called a strike, 0-1. 6-2, the Rays lead. And if the Blue Jays are going to get something going, it feels like it's got to start right now. Top of the order up, 3rd time through. Littell rocks, offers, and Bichette hits it on the ground through the whole left side. A bouncing base hit into left field. 2-hit day for Bo Bichette.
That's a good start. If you're going to chip away at this 4-run lead that the Rays have, that's a good start to that inning. Not hit all that hard, but found the hole. Just a bouncing ball through that left side.
Welcome to the Timberline broadcast booth. He's former Major League pitcher Chris LaRue. I'm Ben Schulman. Nobody out. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up. He's got a home run and a walk today. First pitch in there, strike 1. Vladdy caught a hanging slider in the 3rd, lined it out to left field, a 383-foot blast, his 5th of the year. 0-1. Up and in. Slider hung but stayed up. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Another reason why this is a good time for the Jays to get a couple of runs here is because that shadow just behind the pitcher is about to get tough on hitters.
1-1. Inside 2-1.
Probably about 5 or 10 minutes from that shadow getting to the pitcher.
As the sun is starting to set, all of the left side of the field, except for mound to home, is shade right now. Center field covered in shade as well. 2-1. Called strike, 2-2. The only places still with sun really are shallow right field, sun deeper and right towards the corner. First base is in the sunlight, and then again between the mound and home, the entire infield still in sun. 2-2 is popped up shallow right. Long run, Brandon Lau sprinting in Caballero. Lau makes the catch underhanded. A tough play with Caballero playing deep. Lau was the only one who could get to it. 1 out.
And that's another split finger from Zach Littell. It's his 2nd most used pitch. He uses that thing 25% of the time, but I personally think that's his best pitch. A lot of movement. He has a pretty good command of that pitch, pretty good feel for it. And you could tell that Vlad was uncomfortable swinging that bat there.
Littell in the shade looks to Anthony Santander at the plate in full sunlight. The pitch. High, ball one. It's one thing that's helped Zach Littell become a solid starter after a career as a reliever before that. In 2023, first time around with the Rays, he really only threw the splitter to left-handed hitters. Now he uses it both sides. 1-0. Called strike, 1-1. I remember talking to Buck Martinez about this during the Houston series, and he had said, if you have a good pitch, why would you limit yourself to only throwing it to one side? It's probably good against all hitters. 1-1. Fouled back, headed our way. Bounces off the front of our booth and lands into the seats into the front row 200 level. It's 1-2.
Ben, I saw you duck.
Well, that one was coming right at the face.
The moneymaker.
I haven't brought the gloves yet. So 1-2 pitch hooked on the ground. Backhanded to Ronda. First baseman throws to second for one. Throwback to first to Littell covering for a 3-6-1 inning ending double play. We go to the seventh, 6-2 for the Rays. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sport.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
That ball is gone. Third home run in 4 batters for the Blue Jays.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's the 7th inning, brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. On a shaded mound, Mason Fluharty steps on. Second inning of work. Starts with a left-on-left matchup. Here's his pitch to Brandon Lau. High and inside, ball one. Rays 6, Blue Jays 2. There hasn't been a big inning for Tampa Bay. They've scored in 5 of the 6 innings, including a 2-run first. 1-0. Swing and a miss. AL East matchup, obviously an important game. We'll go to the standings in a moment. First, the 1-1. Lined and off the glove of Bo Bichette, who leaped at short to try to bring it in. It's down in left center, a base hit.
Well, Brandon Lau actually broke his bat on that swing. A pretty good cutter down and away. It looked like Bo Bichette actually had a beat on it. Just tipped off his glove at the last second, but here comes John Schneider to get Mason Fluharty.
Wanted him in there for the left-on-left matchup, but now with Junior Caminero coming up, it looks like the Blue Jays are going to make a pitching change, so we'll get to the standings in just a little bit. Pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Braden Fisher is coming into the game, 6'2" Rays. Nobody out, runner on first. Let's go over to today's host. Here's
Well, this is a World Series card. Everybody said, what's it going to be to pitch against Sandy Koufax, who's a dominant pitcher? I said, I hope I don't embarrass myself. And I didn't. Pitched my first shutout ever. We won 6-0, and my parents were there. My mom was afraid of heights, so she was in the upper deck. She had to come down and trade seats with somebody so she could actually watch her 20-year-old son pitch a shutout in the World Series.
Braden Fisher into the ballgame, warming up for the Blue Jays. Runner on first, nobody out. Top of the 7th, 6-2 for the Rays. For Braden Fisher, it'll be his 3rd major league appearance in an inning and 2/3 so far. He's given up only 1 hit, no walks, and he has struck out 1 batter. Second year in the organization, first year in the big leagues. For Braden Fisher, right-hander who kicks and offers to Junior Caminero. Called strike. First pitch was the slider from Fisher. He's got 2 breaking balls and a mid-90s fastball. The 1-1. Called a strike. And it's 1-2.
I've actually been pretty impressed with Braden Fisher. Didn't know much about him before he was called up, but he's got really good stuff. That mid to upper 90s fastball, and then he mixes in that really good slider. I like what I've seen from him so far.
Long look in the 1-2. Fouled away.
It also says he's 6'4", 180. There is no way he is 180 pounds. He's about 6'4", 220.
Which isn't a bad thing. I mean, he's...
No, it's a solid 220, but there's no way he's 180.
See, it says that online, but the Blue Jays roster says 235.
There you go.
1-2. Swing and a liner, right center field. Straw on the run into a slide, makes the catch from his knees. Bit of an awkward play as he wasn't sure, Straw that is, if he should go all out into the slide or not, but he makes the play. 1 out. Don't think it was major news for the Blue Jays when they brought in Braden Fisher. It happened in the middle of the season, early middle portion of the season last year, which is not a time when people are typically looking out for moves. He was dealt over from the Dodgers. Pitch to Jonathan Aranda. Called strike, 0-1. And also maybe just because of the nature of the move. He was acquired in a trade from L.A. After the Blue Jays had DFA'd Kevin Biggio. They traded him to the Dodgers, got Fisher back. His 0-1. Hit back foul, 0-2. I just think generally people, when it's a DFA trade, they're not going to expect a big return back.
Right, they expect a nothing, essentially.
But Fisher, who has had his ups and downs in the minors, still a 24-year-old, drafted in the 4th round by the Dodgers in 2018. 0-2. Fouled back again. Good stuff. Drafted by an organization with a very good reputation for picking out young talent. And has mostly avoided major injury in his minor league career, which I think is a huge plus these days. 0-2. Popped up, foul over the netting, and into the seats, off to the left.
And he was pretty good in Buffalo this year. 1-0 with a 2.38 ERA, 9 ball games, 14 strikeouts in 11 1/3 innings. But like I said, it's more about the stuff for me. He's got electric stuff, a slider, a curveball, mid to upper 90s. I like it.
Has some experience closing in the minors as well. Had that role for a time in Double-A in 2023 with the Tulsa Drillers. Another 0-2. Fouled back again. Aranda doing everything he can to avoid a golden sombrero. He's punched out 3 times today in 3 tries.
We need to get that. We need to get that MLB website updated for Braden Fisher. 55-pound difference. Come on.
It's a big gap.
Come on.
0-2 again. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a chance. This happens a lot with minor leaguers. I saw this when I was working in the lower levels. You get your information inputted when you're drafted a lot of the time, and then it hardly ever changes. 1-2 again, hit foul. Aranda putting up a fight here with a runner on first and one out. 6-2 Rays, top of the seventh, and Aranda has seen 7 pitches. Fisher's thrown 11 overall. 10 of them have been strikes, 1 ball. Another 1-2. Swing and a miss. Finally, he gets him. 4th time that Aranda strikes out today. 2 down.
That was a pretty good slider up at the top of the strike zone. It looked more like a cutter to me. Just had a little bit of cut at the very end. But you get a good hitter like that to swing through that cutter, swing through that pitch there, and that tells you that you have good stuff.
He averages 89 on the slider. That was 92. 2 outs. His pitch to Cameron Meisner. High ball 1. Brandon Lau still on first after the leadoff single against Mason Fluharty. Blue Jays trailing the Rays 6-2. The pitch. Called strike.
Is it just me, or did that shadow move really quickly from the pitcher's mound to home plate?
It did. It has to do a little bit with the buildings that hang over left field. 1-1. High, 2 balls, 1 strike.
I believe there's a couple of 80-story buildings being built next to the Rogers Center right now. I could be wrong, but that's
reading
what I
a lot
heard.
of Architectural Digest.
No. That's what I heard this morning from somebody that actually works for the Rogers Center. Maybe they're wrong.
2-1. Down and in ball 3.
Can you imagine that elevator situation, though?
80 story. Well, we can see one of, if not the world's fastest elevators going down right now. The CN Tower. Headed down beyond the right field corner. 3-1 count. 2 outs. Runner on first. And the pitch. Check swing. Called strike. It was a curveball at the knees to make it a full count. Vladdy walking toward the mound. He's telling the pitcher, Braden Fisher, that he's no longer going to hold on Brandon Lau. He'll play behind the runner because Lau's going to be off on the pitch, and it's a left-handed hitter in Cameron Meisner. Three-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Braden Fisher retires all 3 batters he faces, including back-to-back strikeouts to end a top of the 7th inning with no runs allowed. 1 hit in the inning for the Rays off Fluharty.
Where did you get these seats? They're trash.
I got a guy.
You've got a guy. You gotta use Game Time for concert tickets.
Game Time's for sports. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. It's also the best way to guarantee you're getting the lowest price to your favorite artists, too, even at the last minute.
What time is it? It's game time!
Concert tonight? Get in last minute with Game Time.
A lot of baseball fans have some familiarity with the T206, American Tobacco Cards.
Project a home run. Visit any of our 1,000+ home hardware and building center locations where we're proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
It's time to kickstart spring at TSC. Discover top brands to live it up outdoors. Shop gardening tools, patio lights, furniture, and more. And split purchases into 6 interest-free easy pay payments. We got what you need to get your green thumbs going. Light up your nights. Have some fun. Go on a camping adventure with Coleman. Crank up your playlist with Bose. And show everyone why you're the grill master with Weber. Make the most of spring. Shop now at tsc.ca. Exciting offers every day.
Hey, this is Bo Bichette. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Scary, spooky, hilarious, crazy, scary, spooky.
A ball on the field in right field right now. They're trying to get it off as we get going for the bottom of the 7th inning. Jose Caballero raced over to get a ball that had dropped on, threw it up to the fan. The fan whiffed on the catch. It fell back on the field, but he throws it up a second time, and now we're ready to go. Welcome back to a sunny Rogers Center in downtown Toronto. 6-2 Rays, bottom 7. And the first pitch of the inning, Zach Littell to George Springer, hit on the ground is short. Backhanded Walls, throws to first, and there's one out.
Zach Littell just threw his 72nd pitch of the ball game. We're in the 7th inning with one out. Very efficient so far in this ball game. Pretty impressive.
And because of the cushion now that the Rays have built, you can start to dream about a complete game if you're Kevin Cash, Zach Littell, or any of the Rays. A feat that Littell has never completed in his career. His pitch to Alejandro Kirk. Called a strike. Meant to get to them in the top half. We'll get to the standings in a moment in this bottom of the 7th. One out, Kirk hitting with nobody aboard. The pitch. Swing and a liner out to left, hit right at Chandler Simpson, 2 down. Standings are brought to you by Bet365. With Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and you can even make a bet while the game is still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Yankees lead the division 25-18. The Blue Jays in second, 21-21. Red Sox are third, 22-23, with the Rays in fourth, 19-23. Orioles at 15-27 in fifth. Addison Barger steps up, takes outside, ball 1. Blue Jays are attempting to go over 500 today for the first time since they were 12-11. Sitting at 21-21 now. 1-0 cut on and missed, 1-1. But they're going to need a big comeback to do it, trailing 6-2, 2 outs, bases empty, bottom 7. Littell's 1-1. Swing and a miss. Barger tried to hold up on a pitch high but couldn't, 1-2. As Barger asks for time, our attention goes to left field for a sec. Jose Urena is getting loose right now in the Blue Jay bullpen. The 1-2. Chopped on the ground up the middle, a base hit, bouncing into center field. Second knock of the day for Addison Barger. He homered in the second. He's got a single in the 7th.
Well, Addison Barger on the previous pitch swung and missed on a fastball up. They tried to sneak that fastball again by him, but Addison Barger does a good job fighting off that tough fastball up and away and just sneaking it through that hole up the middle.
A very controlled swing.
Pretty good day for him, too.
Barger leading off first. Ernie Clement is up, the pitch. Downstairs, ball 1. Chad Green is also up for the Blue Jays. You'd think if Toronto gets a little closer in this game, maybe they go to Green. Trailing by 4, probably Urena. Swing and a high drive by Ernie Clement. Left field, backing up Simpson just in front of the track. Makes the catch to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left for the Blue Jays. After 7 innings, the Rays in front, 6-2. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center.
I was in AAA, and right before the game, they said, no, you got to stop. You need to hurry up and go to Cincinnati. You're about to go play a game there. You got 45 minutes till the game starts. So I get in my car, and I start driving, and all I keep thinking about is, which jersey are they wearing that night? So when I get to the locker room, I see my jersey hung up, and love the white jerseys, just the stitching on it, the old school feel to it.
What is it that kind of got you hooked as a foodie, so to speak?
My dad was really into food when I was a kid. He traveled for work and he would go to places all over Europe and stuff. He was in sales and I feel like he would come home and try and cook the things he ate overseas. And so as a kid, I was exposed to a lot of like stuff that kids aren't usually exposed to. And so I credit my dad for that.
Reserve your stay and play at MuskokaBayResort.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Marshall smashes the ball to right field. It's gone!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays baseball. 8th inning in Toronto. 6-2. The Rays lead the Blue Jays in the rubber match of this 3-game series. Braden Fisher's pitch is taken by Jose Caballero. Strike one on the inner third. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue, Show Ali, our host and producer, Tom Young and Austin Mackey, our technical directors. Next pitch, just outside. Kirk held it there for a second, trying to get the call. 1 ball, 1 strike. Third major league appearance for Braden Fisher, called up about a week ago. 1-1. Rolled over foul, 1-2. Fisher got called up, but then had to wait a while. He was with the Blue Jays through the Angels series, didn't pitch. Made his debut in Seattle. He told me while he maybe got a little antsy, it was actually a good thing for him to not get in right away. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Had Caballero out in front on the slider. Third strikeout in a row for Fisher.
Yeah, and a wild swing from Caballero. Caballero 2 for 3 before this at bat in the ball game, seeing the ball well, and Braden Fisher just slips in that pretty good slider. Almost right down the middle, but he gets him way out in front.
1 out in the pitch to Taylor Walls. Curveball for a strike. He said it was good to wait because he was able to get used to the other parts of being in the big leagues before he got into a game. The travel, being around the team. 1 pitch is high, 1-1. The routine of it all, and then he felt fairly comfortable. I mean, it was only 4 days, but fairly comfortable being around the big leagues as he got into a game. Plus, they got him a nice lead for his debut, a 9-1 cushion. 1-1. Hit in the air, left field, charging in and toward the line. Lucas curls now toward the foul line to make the catch. 2 down.
I don't disagree with that. I think that happens to a lot of relievers when you get called up. You don't know when you're going to pitch. I'm sure John Schneider wanted to get him in a ball game. You don't want that guy sitting down there kind of getting nervous. I feel like every single day you just sit down there, you get more and more nervous. Good for him.
2-ounce pitch to Chandler Simpson, called a strike, 0-1. Sweet spot is probably somewhere in the middle of Fisher waiting 4 days and Paxton Schultz driving to Toronto the morning of his debut and then pitching in like the second or third inning that day. 0-1 pitch in the dirt, 1-1. There's probably a happy medium.
That was crazy. Maybe the happy medium is let's say 24 hours.
Sure. Know the names of all your teammates before you pitch in a game. The 1-1. Called a strike. Curveball on the outside edge. 1-2. 5 in a row retired by Braden Fisher, the rookie. 6-2 Rays, bases empty, 2 outs, top of the 8th. His 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Doubled up on the curve. 4 strikeouts in 6 batters for Fisher, and he's trying to keep the Blue Jays in this one. They're trailing 6-2. Middle of the 8th. Straw Lucas Bichette hitting in the bottom half. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca.
I'm going to throw out a restaurant kitchen term to you, and then hit me with the baseball one. I'll start first.
Okay.
Mise en place.
Oh, mise en place. That is, as the chef, you put all your different ingredients out kind of before you start cooking, right?
You got it, man. Yeah. That's the most important
a tough one. I hear this one a lot because of my name, can of corn.
Easy fly ball.
CA. Exciting offers every day.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Middle in fastball, but he puts it by Cruz. 2 down.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bottom 8, Blue Jays trailing the Rays 6-2, and the pitch to Miles Straw is smoked right center field. Going back Caballero, so is Meisner. Meisner, the center fielder, with a little bunny hop on the track to make the catch. Loud contact but 1 pitch and 1 out in this 8th inning for Zach Littell.
Have yourself a day, Cameron Meisner. A couple of nice plays out there in center field. Pretty good day at the plate.
Had the solo homer in the 4th inning. Rays with 3 home runs today. Blue Jays with 2. It's 6-2 Tampa Bay. 1 out, bottom 8. Littell to Nathan Lucas. Called strike. Quick peek back at the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. If you didn't hear the scores earlier, 4-0 Twins over the Orioles today. 7-1 Reds over the White Sox. 5-2 Braves beat the Nats. A 1 pitch fouled back by Lucas. 0-2. Our out-of-town scores, as always, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Most of the teams are off today. Rivalry weekend about to start. Coming up Friday. First game is tonight. Houston and Texas at 8:05 Eastern. 0-2. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
What would be your favorite rivalry in baseball?
Dodgers-Giants is a good one. You know what? I'll say Cubs-Cardinals. I think that's a sneaky, great rivalry. 1-2 is high and outside. 2-2. It's not that sneaky. I mean, it's quite historic. But so much attention on Dodgers-Giants. So much attention on Yankees-Red Sox. I think Cubs-Cardinals can get as nasty as any of those. 2-2. Swing and a high fly ball. Right field. Racing back Caballero. Turns around. See you later. Solo home run for Nathan Lucas. His 3rd of the season. 3rd Blue Jays home run today. And they're fighting to stay in it. It's 6-3 for the Rays in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, how about Nathan Lucas slowly starting to see that ball better. Slowly starting to take better swings. That's a good swing right there. Hammers that baseball into the Rays bullpen in right field. Put that jacket on.
He has woken up that Rays bullpen by hitting the ball into it. Zach Littell at 86 pitches now. Looked like he was going to have a bid for a complete game. I'm not so sure anymore with this game closer. And the Blue Jays bringing the top of the order back up. Kyle Snyder's going to go out to the mound for a moment, the pitching coach. So we can remind you that this copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership or the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The ironic thing about those, the 2 best rivalries in baseball, the Giants, Dodgers, Red Sox, Yankees, they're not even playing each other on rivalry weekend.
No, they had to set up the Red Sox with the Braves. They needed that rivalry. Subway Series is a great rivalry.
Yeah, that's a good
Yankees
rivalry.
Mets. Rivalry weekend, an interleague heavy mix of series. 1 out pitch to Bo Bichette. Swing and a high fly ball, left center, going back Simpson. That ball's down in the gap, bouncing onto the track. Off the glove is Simpson. Bichette will stop at second, not pushing his luck. He's got a double, his 3rd hit today, and his 14th double of the year.
And down three runs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Bo Bichette made a good decision not trying to push that into a triple. Just stays at second base for a double with 1 out now in scoring position. That's a big run standing at second base.
6-3 for the Rays. Blue Jays just scored for the first time since the 3rd inning. Danny Jansen is going to walk out to the mound again. He just went out there. So did the pitching coach, and I think they're just buying time. I wouldn't be shocked if Kevin Cash, mid-meeting, comes out of the dugout. Cash, the former Blue Jay, sipping on some water near the top steps. And he will come out of that dugout and make a pitching change. Brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Zach Littell's day is done. He pitches into the 8th, but gives up a pair of extra base hits to end his day, and the Blue Jays are in it. 6-3 Rays, runner on second, 1 out before Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hits. Let's
is a good one right here. The Padres. Little pinstripe unis. We would wear these every Thursday. When I kept it, I wanted to keep it all dirty. I always felt like if you didn't get dirty in a baseball game, you kind of didn't really play that day. So I had my pine tar there, a little dirt in the front side of it, but the brown and orange, really cool cleats. All the fans really enjoyed it as much as the players did.
Night. So tomorrow, tip-off will be just after 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. And some non-playoff teams in the NHL making some moves. We heard the Flyers hiring Rick Tocchet as their new bench boss. The Kings introducing Ken Holland as VP and general manager earlier today. The Canucks also introducing Adam Foote as their head coach. And speaking of Foote, to discuss that hiring, Canucks president of hockey ops Jim Rutherford will join Dan Riccio and Sat Shaw on Canucks Central later tonight. That'll be 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific on the West Coast. So be sure to join the guys. You can join them at sportsnet.ca/650 online. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action at the Rogers Center. Here are Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. Manuel Rodriguez is on the mound right now for the Rays, the right-hander from Mexico, making his second appearance of the series in a spot where the Blue Jays look to claw back into this game. 6-3 is the score in favor of the Rays. 1 run in this inning for Toronto. And with 1 out and Bichette on second, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. comes to the plate. Rodriguez offers inside. Vlad twisted away from a 98-mile-per-hour heater. Stumbles out of the box. It's 1-0.
That 98-mile-an-hour heater is a sinker, too. It has a ton of movement on it. Started in on the plate and then just ran right off the plate, almost hitting Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
The 1-0. Fastball at the knees, called a strike.
That fastball from Rodriguez is electric.
97 average on the sinker and four-seamer for the righty. Throws his slider just over half of the time. That pitch sits around 90. The 1-1. Check swing, pitch outside, appeal to first, no swing. It's 2-1. It is hard to imagine that this is the first year Rodriguez broke camp with a major league team. Came out of spring training on the major league roster for the Rays. The 2-1. Inside ball 3. A little bit scattered, missing inside and outside. Pretty big. Pretty far off the plate so far. (3-1) Inside ball 4, 99, but he missed about 3 balls off the plate. Vladdy trots down to first, and the tying run steps up in the form of Anthony Santander.
It's a big at-bat for Anthony Santander. You can bet that Rodriguez wants to throw something in the strike zone now, trying to find that release point. A little bit wild in that at-bat to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., so Santander should be ready for something in the strike zone.
A look at second in the pitch. Swings and misses, strike 1.
He was ready for it.
Was he out in front of that 97-mile-per-hour fastball?
I think he was too ready for it.
Yeah. Went down to a knee as he foul-tipped it into the glove. Bichette on second, Guerrero on first. 1 out, 6-3 Rays. The 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'll tell you what, Rodriguez is max effort. He has given you 100%.
Former Cub, 3rd year with the Rays. 1-1. Swing and a deep drive, right field, and it's going to hook foul into the second deck. It had more than enough to get out, but again, he was out in front on 97.
Like I said, he's too ready for it, too amped up. Pretty good swing right there on a line out of here. Just a little bit foul.
The 1-2. Swinging bunt, rolls up the first baseline, picked up by the pitcher. He'll tag Santander. Both runners advance into scoring position. And now there are 2 outs. Vladdy at second, Bo at third. Again, he was too far out in front. That was a slider, but he got it, it seemed like off the top of the bat.
Well, I don't want to say he did his job, but At least he moved those runners up, and now with 2 outs in this inning, George Springer has the opportunity to just dump something out to the outfield and score both runs.
Springer 0 for 3 today. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back sliders from the hard-throwing right-hander, Manuel Rodriguez. He tucks the ball in his glove, belt high, and the pitch. Low with a third straight slider, 1-1. A home run this inning from Nathan Lucas. Bichette with a double and then a walk from Vlad. It's second and third, 2 outs. The 1-1. Inside, Springer jumps out of the way, 2 balls, 1 strike.
He's tried to come in at least 4 times this inning in this outing, and he's really come nowhere close to throwing a strike. That last pitch was well off the plate, almost hitting George Springer.
Two-1. Inside again, almost hit the ankle of Springer, who danced out of the way. 3 balls, 1 strike.
He's really struggling trying to throw that sinker in. But again, that sinker has so much movement, a lot like Brennan Little, where he just has a tough time throwing strikes with it.
Rodriguez rocks, offers. Springer hits it on the ground, foul near third. Bichette down to the seat of his pants, diving out of the way. It's a full count with 2 outs. Springer is the tying run, 6-3. The Rays lead, 2 on, 2 out, full count, bottom 8. Like Chris had mentioned earlier, even a single likely makes it a 1-run game. Homer would tie it. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a fly ball, center field, playable for Meisner. Creeping back, he's just in front of the track, makes the catch with 1 hand to end the inning. The Blue Jays get 1 on 2 hits, but they strand 2 in scoring position. It's 6-3 as we head to the 9th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned.
Do you see yourself maybe one day after baseball, like maybe food critic, food writer?
I would love to do that. That's the plan. I've been doing it ever since I was in the big leagues. It's just fun. It's fun to interact with people like the fans, because a lot of my followers are baseball fans. So it's nice to interact with them on a topic that's not baseball. A lot of people seem to rally around that. I mean, who doesn't love good food?
Doing things in other currencies. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Fastball painted at the bottom of the zone, and that's back-to-back strikeouts.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays baseball. Top of the 9th inning and a pitching change for Toronto, brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. After 2 strong innings out of the pen by Braden Fisher, Jose Urena will take over in the 9th inning. We've seen him start twice for the Blue Jays so far. This is his Blue Jays relief debut. Faces the number 9 hitter, Danny Jansen. And the pitch. Ball to strike. Starts him off with the 96-mile-per-hour sinker. He lives mid-90s with the sinker and 4-seamer. Throws a changeup more than anything. And also has a slider. Next pitch. Chopped on the ground, foul, third base side, bouncing into the netting. It's 0-2. John Schneider did say a couple days ago that Urena was in play to come out of the bullpen if they needed him to. 0-2. Just high with a fastball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. This obviously could impact, though, starting pitching plans for the Blue Jays coming up. Saturday or Sunday is the day where they'll have to fill the Max Scherzer vacancy. The 1-2. Outside 2-2. Last time they split it between Urena opening and mostly Eric Lauer coming in after. Maybe it just becomes a straight start for Lauer if you're using Urena out of the pen. 2-2. Popped up. Middle of the infield. Ernie Clement coming in. Creeps onto the turf. Makes the catch two-handed. 1 out.
I would venture to guess that's what's going to happen. Eric Lauer was really good in his last outing. Didn't start, but he came in after Urena, and he threw 4 2/3, just gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. And also, he's sitting in the dugout right now, so that tells me that he's probably going to start next game, or at least that next vacancy.
First pitch to Josh Lowe is lined to right field. That's down for a base hit. Cut off on 3 hops in the corner by Santander. He spins and throws it back into Bichette to keep Lowe to a single. But a nice return today off the injured list for Josh Lowe, his 3rd hit. Now, I will say, Jose Urena pitching today, for me, signals he's not going to start on the weekend in a traditional sense. Could he pitch the first inning as an opener? Definitely. That's basically like being a reliever. You're not being asked to throw that many pitches, but you'd figure Lauer gets the bulk. 1 out, 1 on. First pitch to Brandon Lau. Skips to the backstop, and moseying up to second base is Josh Lowe on what I believe will be called a pass ball.
Alejandro Kirk actually furious with himself right now that he didn't catch that baseball. He probably catches that 9 out of 10 times.
It was a missed spot across his body, but it just clipped off the glove, never hit the dirt. It was called a ball, too. It might have been a strike if it was reeled in. 1-0. Foul back, 1-1.
I'm wondering if that's a pass ball or a wild pitch.
It feels like it's got to be a pass ball.
Yeah, I think that's a pass ball. Especially a guy like Alejandro Kirk, who's very good defensively. You have to catch that baseball.
6-3, an important base runner on second with 1 out. 1-1 to Lau. Hit back foul, 1-2. It has been ruled a wild pitch initially.
Interesting.
They do often, though, make those rulings and then go back, take a look at the video. The official scorer doesn't have all the time in the world right now because they're still scoring everything that's going on. But for now, wild pitch. 1-2. Popped up. Third base side, over the dugout into the seats. Brandon Lau is 2 for 4 today. Home run and a single. Also a ground out and a strikeout. Josh Lowe on second. The 1-2 pitch. Hit well center field. Going back, Straw into a jog, looking up. It is gone, way gone for Brandon Lau. A multi-homer game, and the Rays have their largest lead today, 8-3.
Again, you could talk about the roof all you want, but that was a fastball right down the middle. And Brandon Lau did not miss it. 109 miles off the bat, 430 feet off that batter's eye in center field.
For the Rays, their 4th homer of the day. 7 homers total in this game. Pitch to Junior Caminero. Outside ball 1. In one sense, we shouldn't be expecting a lot of homers in this series, even though there's been a ton, because both of these teams have struggled to hit it out this year. On the other hand, both teams have surrendered a lot of home runs this year. 1-0 pitch is outside, 2-0, and so it seems like that has factored in more. The Rays actually came into this game allowing more than half of their runs against via a homer, most in the big leagues, and the Blue Jays were 3rd, 47%. 2-0. Swing and a miss by Caminero. Big hack. It's 2-1. 8-3 for the Tampa Bay Rays. One out, base is empty, top of the ninth. Urania kicks and deals. And that one misses outside by a hair. A changeup off the plate, 3-1. Pete Fairbanks, the closer, was up for the Rays, but now Cole Sulser is throwing. No longer a safe situation for Tampa Bay. 3-1. Check swing pitch in the dirt, appeal to first. He didn't go, and that's a walk to Caminero. This ninth inning is brought to you by New Pizza from Pizza Pizza. Get a huge 18-inch double XL 3-topping pizza for just $19.99. Bigger slices, bigger bites, only at Pizza Pizza, actually Canadian. 8-3 Rays, one out, top of the ninth, and a runner on first. The pitch to Jonathan Aranda is lined and caught at first on a leap by Guerrero. Lands and steps on the bag for a double play to end the inning. Very nice catch by the 2022 Gold Glover, but the Rays end up with 2 runs in the inning thanks to a second 2-run shot of the game by Brandon Lau. Bottom of the ninth, Blue Jays.
Man, these seats. I know, right? Thank you, Game Time. Easiest way to find only the best deals on the best seats. I wonder how the other guys are doing.
These seats are trash. What the heck, man? I spent hours finding a deal on these. Trash.
Oof. Finding seats for prices this good is tough.
They should have used Game Time. No more endless searching. Just great options at incredible prices with their Game Time picks.
What time is it?
Game Time.
As we head to the bottom of the ninth inning at the Rogers Center. Don't forget, we do have Jays Talk this afternoon. Blair and Barker have the post-game show. They will take your calls and texts. Jeff will throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out. You can text them as well. 590-590, name and location. The People's Text line always open. Standard data and messaging rates may apply. Blue Jays baseball, as always, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. The Jays trail 8-3, bottom 9 at the Rogers Center. Here are Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue with the call.
Thank you very much, Joe. Bottom of the ninth inning, pitching change for the Rays, brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Right-hander Cole Sulser on the hill. 8-3 Rays. Alejandro Kirk leading off this bottom of the ninth. Right-hander kicks and offers. Misses outside and low. Ball 1. Cole Sulser with a .635 ERA this year in 5 appearances across 5 2/3 innings. Is 1-0. Called strike. Started this inning with a pair of cutters. It's somewhere between a slider and a cutter. That last one at 85 miles an hour. He's low to mid-90s with his four-seamer. He also throws a changeup. Next pitch. Lined foul over the netting off to the right. And it's 1-2.
Cole Sulser went to Dartmouth. It's always nice to see some Ivy League guys thrown in there.
Smart guy.
It's like a lot like a Winthrop graduate.
Pretty much the same
smart
degree.
Guy.
Pretty much the same degree. The 1-2. Bounce to the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Syracuse is in the Ivy League, right?
Yeah, of course. It's the Dartmouth of Central New York. 2-2 count to Kirk. Base is empty. He's the first batter of the bottom of the ninth. Bearded Sulser rocks and offers. Kirk fouls it away right behind him. Cole Sulser, a 25th rounder out of Dartmouth in 2013 by Cleveland, was traded to the Rays in the deal that also brought Yandy Diaz over to the Rays. It's a 3-team trade, and that led to Sulser debuting with the Rays against the Blue Jays in 2019. 2-2, hit on the ground is short, picked up Walls, shuffles, throws over to first, 1 out. It has not been straightforward, though. It's not like Sulser, okay, drafted by one team, traded to the Rays, comes up in 19, and he's been with the Rays since. No. Instead, he pitched with the Rays in 19 and then bounced around to the Orioles, Marlins, Diamondbacks, Mets, and then back to the Rays between 2020 and 2024. Biggest opportunity came in 2021 with Baltimore. He threw 60 times, also pitched 39 times with Miami in 22. First pitch to Addison Barger, ripped at and missed. Strike one. 8-3 Rays. 1 out, base is empty, bottom 9. The pitch. Fouled straight back. 0-2.
Being in the bullpen is just so unfair sometimes. You go from a 2.7 ERA in 60 ball games, 63 in a third innings. It's almost a 5.5 in your next season. It's so up and down.
0-2. Fouled off the right foot of the home plate umpire, Adrian Johnson, who doesn't even move a muscle. Still no balls, 2 strikes.
Tough guy back there.
Seriously. That's why he's the crew chief.
Barger's helmet went flying.
Everyone gets an extra second. Some new baseballs for Adrian Johnson. Danny Jansen had gone out in front of the plate. Now he crouches back behind it and goes to his leg to the pitch count. The 0-2. Outside and low. Sulser living the life a lot of relievers live also this year. Starts at AAA, comes up in mid-April, back down, came up again in May. His 1-2 is called, strike 3. 2 quick outs in this bottom of the 9th inning. Blue Jays down to their last chance in this series, trailing 8-3 against the Rays.
That's a pitch that Addison Barger wants back. I bet he hammers that 4-seamer if he actually swings the bat. You could see him disappointed with that one right there. At least try to foul that off, try to stay alive. He just watches it go by.
It was down and in, right in the happy zone. Pitch now to Ernie Clement. Chopped on the ground to third. This should do it. Coming in, Caminero has it, throws over to first. The Rays win the game, and they win the series. 8-3, the final score, as an offensive barrage from Tampa Bay powers them to a road series win over the Blue Jays.
Yeah, just a forgettable performance from the Blue Jays pitching staff. Kevin Gausman, like I said during the broadcast, had really good stuff. That fastball velocity was up to 99 miles an hour. Just too many pitches that were very hittable, and the Rays obviously took advantage of that.
8-3 the final score. We'll take a quick break, wrap it up quickly on the other side, and get you over to Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Buck Martinez here to tell you about the huge Double XL three-topping pizza from Pizza Pizza, just $19.99. That's a whopping 18-inch three-topping thing of beauty for only $19.99. So hurry into Pizza Pizza today and bring a big appetite for a hot and fresh Double XL pizza. I'm loving this big voice. I may just call the game this way.
Go to pizzapizza.ca. This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Called strike 3, change up at the knees, and there's nothing you can do about that pitch.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Rogers Center. Blue Jays fall to the Tampa Bay Rays today, 8-3, the final score, as the Rays take the rubber match to win the series over the Blue Jays. I'm Ben Schulman alongside